Minnesota was filthy. Gallen struggled. The Dodgers reminded everyone why they're still the team to beat in the National League West. Tom Candiotti will join us at 1:30. We'll get his take on this D-back season, the rotation, the bullpen, the closer question, and whether this club can surprise people the way Arizona teams have surprised us in the past. Then, how much is it actually going to cost you to take the family to a ball game this year? We'll dive into that. On the college basketball front, Arizona made history last night in San Jose as the Cats put up 109 points. Wow. 64% from the field. 6 players scored at least 14 points. That has never been done in an NCAA tournament game. Tommy Lloyd's squad is in the Elite 8 for the first time since 2015. They have Purdue, which was the preseason ranked number 1 team, Saturday night with the Final Four trip on the line. We'll have a recap and a preview. We got some March Madness by the numbers. $3.3 billion will be legally wagered on the tournament. We'll dive into some of that. Then we're going to get into the sports business stories that matter as the Arizona's Attorney General hit the company called Kashi, which you've heard about, with criminal crimes. We're going to talk about that. That's the prediction market platform. And it's got a gambling operation, which some people are saying illegal. You're seeing it on TV. The White House is getting it right in the middle of it. And then college is trying to fix college sports. So we have a lot to get into. There's a bunch of stuff with that. Bernie Sanders wants to stop teams from leaving their cities, so we're going to dive into that. And then NFL's next broadcast stars, Stafford, Rodgers, Cousins. The booth is waiting because there are some job openings, so we'll dive into that. We got Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com. We will preview tonight's games as well. But a story that hit about 20 minutes ago, Tiger Woods was involved in a rollover car crash in Jupiter Island today. The crash happened just after 2 o'clock Eastern, according to the sheriff's office. Eyewitnesses told, of course, TMZ Sports, they're the best in the business. It appeared 2 cars were involved, and it didn't look like if anyone was seriously injured. The witness saw Tiger on the scene. He appeared okay. A photo was taken at the scene, showed the vehicle resting on the side following the incident. So what's next? We're waiting on the police department to share some more details. Of course, the internet in just 5 to 7 minutes is going nuts. Even our fine producer right away, oh, he's on drugs, he's on pills, he's on this. That's how effed up our society is. The accident happens, just gets reported within the last 10 minutes, and everybody assumes that he's on pills. And it just pisses me off that people are like that. Instead of just let the process be the process.
Amen.
And let it happen. Now, he does have some recent activity. You know, he's been working on a return to golf, as we all know, because the ruptured Achilles tendon. We saw him play golf this week. He undergone surgery last October for his back. Of course, Tuesday was in the TGL finals and all that. And, you know, even our fine producer, Lads, I'm throwing him under the bus, rightfully so. I mean, this is a learning moment. Is, you know, he's like, oh, he gets in accidents all the time. Like, you know, it seems like every other year he's got an accident. Last time he was in a rollover, it was at Rolling Hills Estate, Southern California. It was in 2001. He was driving his Genesis D80 SUV, hit the tree, if you remember. He had some serious injuries. So,
Well, don't forget the one in 2017.
That's way before.
Well,
this is 2021.
Most people don't just total cars every 3 years or roll them off the side of the road.
Well, what did I say? No one seems seriously hurt.
I think it's his generation, because every time we give something good about something, Laz will come back. Well, what about so-and-so? Well,
Nothing good about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, wait a second. Why can't you just come with somebody? Yeah, the guy had 4 home runs last night. Well, he struck out.
Yeah, he struck out looking.
Yeah, looking.
Oh, my goodness. But he hit 4 home runs.
It's, you know, Rock, it is. It's like
that's the lead story. So, like, he was like the editor of the Republic, AC Central, and the headlines, or even Arizona Sports. Of course, you're not getting that job because, you know, your headline, Gallen roughed up.
Yeah.
D-backs lose.
Yeah.
You know, instead of maybe trying to find something positive, like, oh, my God, Perdomo, solo home run, 2 RBIs.
And he went 5 innings. Didn't last 5, but he went 5 innings, you know.
Got to find the negative.
But
all
it's
the
so
time.
interesting. The first, everybody's thinking, okay, So he's had a couple of wrecks. One, he pleaded to driving under the influence. The other one I talked about 2017, 2020, whatever. Well, he must be on pills or drugs.
It's got to be. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah.
Oxycodone
Well, I think he's
again.
not loaded up on pills actively taking them, but maybe he's still recovering from whatever, his leg, his back, all that. He's on some sort of daily routine of a
He
pill,
looked like-
and then that comes back.
But the way you said it, Laz, was like, well, he's got to be on a pill.
Yeah, he
my
probably
buddies
is.
are they're all texting me. You are fake news. Breaking fish. I'm surprised the memes aren't already up in the last 12 minutes. That Tiger was
Now,
rolled over.
To your point about if you're doing a lot of oxy for what you're talking about,
Yeah.
he's trying to come back. He's rehabbing. Maybe he's doing oxy, and we're just speculating. I'm just saying a theory that a lot of guys they get on oxy, they overdo it. Brett Favre's a prime example. Spent a month in rehab, and so maybe he just took too much, or no. But we don't know. Maybe he just made a wrong turn.
Yeah.
Maybe a tire blew. I mean, so I'm like everybody else. Just relax. Let it play out. He's okay. Nobody else got hurt. He's okay. That should be the number one comment versus
Dude,
is he okay?
Two-car crash, one vehicle rolling over, one person stable, while the other refused to go to the hospital. No injuries to anyone.
How does it roll over, though? I mean,
See,
he must drive like a NASCAR driver. I've never seen
You
anyone
see?
that crashes.
Do we
cars
know
like
if it's
him.
his car that rolled over
Yeah.
or was it the other car?
No, it's his Genesis.
Was it?
Laying on its
Was he
side.
driving?
You saw the
I'd
picture?
assume
You
he
saw
was
the picture?
driving.
You saw the picture, Jeff?
Uh-huh.
You did see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just gave an example. Everybody's okay, but you also would you say, oh, well, he had to have been driving? It was like the negative. I'm like, guys, he's okay. The other people okay. Thank God, we're all good to go. I mean, who knows what happened? But
But it's man. I mean, this isn't good for Genesis. I mean,
Yeah.
like the
His
second
cars
time
keep rolling over.
Don't buy a Genesis. It rolls over. That's the story. Now, why don't you do some investigative reporting on Genesis rolling over?
yeah, Tiger Woods proves again Genesis stands up to a rollover crash. I
Yeah.
could just see that. But as long as the first
one's
comment should
hurt.
be, is everybody okay?
Yeah.
That should be the very versus, well, he's had a history, and one time he was DUI, pleaded guilty to driving under the influence. I mean, I just, it drives me nuts. Let it play out. Then all of a sudden you get this, well, he said, she said, well, we'll come to find out a lot of what she said is wrong in
Yeah.
some of these cases.
So let me ask you, Laz. So, we come out to Biggs here in Peoria. I live in the East Valley in Scottsdale, and I drive over the 101. So we've come out here quite a bit. So now the second time in 2 months, huge chip. Got the chip 2 months ago, and then I got
Another
another
one?
chip just now.
Oh.
Like literally
What's
a
on
half
your
hour
windshield?
on my windshield. Like within literally a quarter amongst each other. That's the difference. That's how much size.
That drives me nuts.
So no one should drive on the 101, right? I
A lot of construction over there.
I wasn't even behind a truck or anything. Also,
No.
like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, pop. I'm like, son of a. And sure, I went right to the car wash. Right. What does that guy got to do right away? Hey, dude. Hey,
Sure.
That's so funny. So I go into Jackson's right now, just one right here on 83rd or 70, whatever this is, 83rd Avenue.
83rd Avenue.
Go in there, and I knew right away he's going to hit me up and just say, hey, you want to get that fixed? So first thing he goes up to me and he's like, hey, do you like your Rivian? I'm like, yeah, I love my Rivian. Yeah, man, they're great, man. You always been in the EV business? I'm like, no, but I've had Teslas too, and I got cars and gas too, And he's like kind of buttering me up. And I'm like,
Sure
before I
is.
got out of the car, because they've already hit me up before, and I have the receipt to get it done, but I haven't got it done. So I literally pulled the receipt out because I knew he was going to ask me.
Sure.
Because every time it's annoying as hell. They come up, they kind of walk right in the car, and they got the towel, and they're like, okay. And I'm in the car wash twice, 3 times a week, so I know the whole drill. I know Tony, I know Jose. I mean, I know who the guys are. So he's like, he's buttering me up, and I'm like, dude, just stop. I'm not trying to be just here, look. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, I get it. You got a job to do, but I'm just trying to save you some breath. I said, I know the second one I just got, like literally 10 minutes ago, driving to this location. I said, yeah, I'm getting it fixed. Here's the receipt. I've already went to the guy in Scottsdale. He's going to do it. Because the Rivian, it's hard to find windshield. And
I can imagine.
the worst, you folks that are driving around that have Tesla,
imagine.
Tesla even worse. It's easy to get the windshield, but I can't tell you. I go 3 a year, 4 a year.
I probably go one every 2 years going up.
We're in
and
the
down.
worst state
Yeah.
for
Well,
chip. I mean, if you're in that industry, good job, man. 'Cause you can make a ton. It sucks. Your insurance just goes up.
I got mine replaced last Friday.
Yeah.
Got nailed by a semi. It was like 2 lanes over on the way to backyards. Like 2 weeks ago, I let it kept getting bigger and bigger across the whole windshield, and took it into Safeway. Probably took a hit on my insurance, but they gave me a free windshield.
It's not free.
I got my.
You just said you got a hit on your insurance, but I got a free
free because
windshield.
I don't have to pay anything.
You are paying. You're paying
my
X
insurance
amount of
goes up.
dollars. You're paying X amount of dollars for glass coverage.
Yeah.
Nothing is free.
But
Oh
so we're
yeah.
cracks.
Hey, Laz, welcome in. Let me give you a free windshield.
It felt free in the moment.
And mine is if you can go without a whole year, they won't ding you. So it's like once every 2 years. I'll wait for a guy for
Oh,
6
that's what
months.
I switched insurance. Geico was totally about even going to say. So I switched to State Farm, but I'm going to wait a little while.
Sure, yeah.
Before I just all of a sudden put a claim in. So I'm going to see how far I can
Mr.
go
Maruch,
before this thing blows up. Because I've had it for like, a month now?
Yeah.
And it hasn't moved. So I'm fine.
Good
It's
for
all
you.
cosmetic.
Yeah, don't let that spider thing
Once that
start to
thing
happen.
starts firing up.
By the way, the misnomer is the guys told me when you start getting the spider your windshield, you're okay. It's not going to break because of the heat or cold. That misnomer is, well, if it gets too cold, with those, it'll crack or break. It won't.
But if it's a spider, you can cop season. He can pull you over just for
He
that.
could.
Really?
He could. Yeah,
Yeah, you
sure
don't,
could.
you don't need that reason to get
No,
pulled
you
over.
don't.
All right, coming up, we're going to rewind the first night of Sweet 16 with the best final calls around the tournament. Then we zero in on Arizona State win over Arkansas. We got some Dodgers D-backs to get into as well. You'll hear from Corey Lavello and Zach Gowen on what changed. And if I have some time, how much does it cost to attend a Major League Baseball game in 2026? We're going to get into that. We're just getting started. Bigs in Peoria. Come on out to watch the games today. And, of course, D-backs tonight. Roc and Manuch, GBB here on ESPN Radio.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603. The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Hey listeners, how do you help first responders and their families when they need help? Well, you can come to a benefit concert party at Kierland Golf Course in the Marshalls Pavilion. Friday night, May 8th, 80s cover band Rock Lobster. They tear it up in the AZ band scene. Food, drinks, and fun for great cause. The 100 Club of Arizona has been assisting public safety members since 1968 with line of duty death, mental health, safety equipment, and scholarship for family members. Go to 100club.org. That's 100club.org events page.
It's time for our Replay Rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Rock decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
The rebound by Walker and Illinois is going to go to the Elite Eight for the second time in a couple of years. The Iowa Hawkeyes are going to the Elite Eight. Coming from behind to win. A chance to the left side. No good. Purdue advances. The Boilermakers survive. Trey Kaufman-Renn wins it. It's in the books. It's for the Wildcats. Advance to their 12th Elite Eight.
All right, let's get to our learner in a row. Replay, rewind, and one of the loudest Arizona moments of the night. They call it the poster shot, and it's this, which kind of just lit the building with this monster call.
Fly on the three-point shot. Spins and misses. With a facial.
Walker just monster finish with that shot. It was
Right. You know, you sit there and it kind of woke everybody up or got this team going. So I'm going to call it the Waka Awakening. You like that, lad?
I jumped
The
out of my seat.
Waka Awakening.
I jumped out of my
I think
seat in my
I
booth.
think he's already been up all season.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I don't know. if
But I
he
mean, it
woke
just,
up.
that just like lit the
Hey, you
Oh,
stick
the
the
bench.
Hey, you stick the marketing and taglines to other people that are. You stick to just the X's and O's, the Sharpie.
Let's not throw it out there, Rock. You know, the
I'm
Waka
just telling
Awakening.
you, all right, Jimmy.
I was
All
at
right.
Colby's last night, real quick, and the whole place exploded when that happened. And I jumped up from my table and spilled my entire 22-ounce beer over me, my brother, my friends, and went everywhere.
But it was worth it.
But it was worth it.
Yeah.
Toby ripped the ball from those guys.
All right,
Like,
after the win, Coach Pete talked about what it meant for Arizona to take down Arkansas.
I think it's our preparation. You know, we got really prepped for this game. Arkansas is a really well-coached team, really talented players. A lot of those players going to be in the NBA someday. So, I mean, we knew it was going to be a dogfight, but I'm just proud of the guys that came out and executed. Shout out to the Green Squad for having us ready for this one.
Koa Pete is feeling it right now. He's no longer a freshman. He's healthy, and he wants the ball. Talk about a guy that's slamming a few home here and there. But I mean, he is really he's that grown up immensely through this entire freshman year.
All right, Tommy Lloyd said the key was Arizona staying true to who they are and playing to their strengths. Here's Tommy.
I read this in a book. What was the best candy bar in 1946? Yeah. What's the most popular candy bar today? Same as ever. I haven't flinched. I'm playing the same exact style that we learned at Gonzaga, that I brought to Arizona, and I'm doubling down on it. I'm not worried about trends. I never look at trends. I'm just like, what do I think is the most effective way to my team to play, and what are my strengths as a coach? You got to play into that too. Like, why would I try to reinvent myself as a coach when this has been pretty effective? Can I get better at it? Okay, can we double down on our strength? What I do every day, I look at our strengths, and when I wake up in the morning, how am I going to honor our strengths? When I go to bed at night, how did I honor our strengths? Throughout the day, we'll work on some weaknesses, but for me, I'm always doubling down on my strength. That's 100% how I think we can be most effective. Call me crazy.
I think a lot of coaches are listening to that. That's good stuff. I'm sure young coaches are taking notes. That's pretty impactful.
I think the other thing too is what he mentioned. It's I'm going to do what we do well. Everybody gets caught up on all these, like in football. Well, all of a sudden we're going to go to the RPO or the spread. Well, you're running the pro style, and the flex pretty damn good. Why would you change? Well, we got to keep up with the Joneses because
Copycat.
yeah, I mean,
Copycat league,
if
right?
you're successful, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I think that's what I hear from him there.
All right, on the other side, John Calipari was asked what he told his players after the season in Columbus.
I told him, hugged each of them after, told him I loved them. I said, what you did for us, how much I appreciate what you did for this program, and our state and university. But let me just say this, Arizona was way better than us today. And I didn't think they'd be way better. I thought we could hang around. I knew it was a bad matchup because of their size. But they're good. They're a very well-coached. Tommy's done a great job with that team.
I thought during the timeout when the sideline reporter talked to him, his first thing was, "This is a damn good team." And to that point is you could have the best athletes, or the team is just better than you, bigger than you, faster than you all around. You just got to tip the cap, say, look, that's a better team. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Right before the end of the first half, it's a damn good team, and we got to figure out a way to stop, which they never could figure out a way.
All right, we switch gears to baseball. And the D-backs, of course, they fell last night in their home opener 8-2. But there was some highlights, and we will start with one of the first ones. And this is the D-backs as they landed the first punch in Los Angeles with Perdomo.
Here's the 0-2. Perdomo swings. It's a high drive out to deep right. Tucker going back, looking up. 2-0 Diamondbacks. It's the first home run of the season for Perdomo. It's the first home run of the season for the Diamondbacks. And it's Arizona who comes to L.A. and takes an early 2-0 lead.
That was in the top of the fourth as you went deep there. There you're like, all right, this could be a good start.
I mean, he jumped all over Yamamoto. He hit that as a line drive shot, and I went, wow, they're up 2-0. Let's see how they could build on it.
But the game flipped with one swing in the fifth.
The 1-2. Breaking ball long. Deep to left field. Waller going back. Looking up. It's gone. Hits had 27 home runs last year. His first of 26 is a 3-run shot. The Dodgers jump in front. It's 3-2.
Yeah.
You know,
Paye.
Paye.
Yeah, Paye.
He's Cuban, right?
Yeah. Cuban. And they were.
But it's spelled Page.
Yeah, but Paye.
So here in the United States, it's just Andy Page.
Come on the Paye. You know what I liked about the booth last night was Kershaw in the dugout, and he had Hershiser, and then Gonzo up in the up in the booth. They talked about Paye's struggle during the playoffs, how bad he played. Well,
he's been in the league.
Yeah, but he really struggled. But anyways, they said his focus, because Kershaw being with the Dodgers during spring training, was pretty much, hey, look, this kid really focused. He felt bad. He was still feeling bad even though he won the World Series. So that hanging slider or curveball, he was all over. And I love the up cam. That up cam is great. That ball came in there and hung, and he just golfed it out. That's one of the improvements I love seeing with NBC TV and with Netflix is the umpire cam to kind of show that and to see the prowess of some of these guys. He golfed that bad boy out. It was no doubt that was gone.
All right, afterward, Torey Lovullo, of course, the manager of the D-backs, said Arizona got started, won it, but just couldn't keep going.
I thought this game was going the way we wanted it to early on, and then in typical Zach fashion, he was controlling counts, had some quick, easy innings. Looked like he was going to be able to give us 5, maybe pitch in the last 6 innings, but that pitch count climbed. And his last inning worked. And Dodgers are a good baseball team. He makes some mistakes. And they had a couple of well-placed balls, and then Paz comes up with a 3-run home run. So, we got to pitch better in a couple situations. Beyond Zach, we can't all be Zach watching and put it completely on him. So at the end of the day, you give up 8 runs in the stadium, you're going to have a tough time winning a baseball game.
I felt that Derek Clark was the only one that really struggled when you think about it. Giving up the hits in the 4 runs. Gallen again, the nemesis of last year. Can't get.
And why are we everybody so down on him on this start?
Well, I'm just saying the nemesis continued.
Got into the 5th inning.
Yeah, but what did I say yesterday? If you get out of the 5th inning, not give up any runs.
One pitch.
All I'm saying is I hope that pattern from last year doesn't continue the way it did last year.
You're bad as last.
No.
Tiger Woods rolling the start.
All I'm
right
saying
out of the gate is something negative about Gallen. Let's just look at the positive.
I am looking at the positive. But we just hope. I hope his pattern.
One game.
Okay, but remember last year? How many games he had? The same pattern as I'm telling you, Rob.
He went through a little spurt where he turned it around, too.
Well,
so
he's at a short spurt.
A hell of a pitcher. It's the reason why he started.
If he can get himself, because what the book on him is, if he gets beyond 5 innings, you're fine. And he can. And he did it again yesterday. So you hope he does. I hope he does. Well, all I said was I hope that pattern that did create anybody in free agency to give him the offer he wanted doesn't come back to haunt him again this year like it did last year.
Well,
fact.
One game.
Okay.
Just
whenever you get to that 3rd time around the lineup with the Dodgers, there isn't a pitcher that's going to have an easy time.
Yeah, I think if we looked at all the starting pitchers last year against the Diamondbacks, the last point, I bet the Dodgers, the majority of their scoring is after the fifth inning.
Oh, and that's what they're such a good team. But I mean, the way he was hanging the ball, even Hershiser said, all of a sudden he's losing velocity. He hung that curveball to Paez and knocked it out. There were some things mechanically break it down. Okay, first start, hopefully gets that cleaned up, and so he get beyond the fifth inning.
All right, CC, let's go to the last one being Zach Gallen. Here's what here he is after the game talking about what it's like to face that Dodgers line.
Honestly, to me, it felt the opposite. I felt like they were, just how I recall it. I mean, that might not have been the case, but I felt like they were making me prove that I can, be over the strike zone. So I felt like, we just tried to fill it up and mix and do a good job. I felt like, to me, they felt like they got a little bit more aggressive as the game had gone on. I think once I'd kind of shown that I was going to be in the strike zone and, was, executing some pitches. So just kind of one of those things.
All right, that's our replay rewind, which is brought to you by Lerner in Row. Interact, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always at lernerandrow.com. All right, coming up, Tom Candiotti. We'll talk about the D-backs. Is this rotation finally deep enough? Can this bullpen survive early? We'll get his thoughts as game one is in the books. He will join us right after this ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Wildcats are headed to the Elite Eight after a dominant 109-88 win over Arkansas, shooting nearly 64% from the field, with star freshman Koa Pete scoring 21 and Braden Berries adding 23 of his own. 6 Wildcats finished in double figures as Arizona's going to advance. The Diamondbacks dropped their season opener to the Dodgers 8-2, with Geraldo Perdomo driving in both runs and a homer, and they'll look to bounce back tonight in Game 2 of the series with first pitch set for 7:10 p.m. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is sponsored by Biggs in Peoria. The tournament is on, and there's no better place to watch it. Wall-to-wall games, ice-cold beers, and the best game day atmosphere in Peoria. Come hang at Biggs with the crew. Coming up next, D-back radio analyst Tom Candiotti joins the guys.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
This week at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, it's the Callaway Fitting and Bonus Trade-In event March 26th through the 29th. The new Callaway Quantum drivers feature Tri-Force Base Brake Quantum Leap and distance off the tee. Take advantage of the 50% bonus trade-in towards your new purchase. Swing into Vans Golf Shops or book your fitting online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Here's what's different about GCU. It's one of the country's biggest universities with over 360 programs shaped by industry leaders. GCU's campus ranks among the top in the nation. Most of all, GCU cares about affordability. The average federal and private loan debt for GCU undergrads is lower than the average for private nonprofit 4-year universities. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type. Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can. Have you tried Upside yet? Upside? What's that? It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it. Come on, does that really add up to anything? I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself. And the Upside app is free? Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25
a main component to this, or he's really the catalyst, really kind of gets things going. And guys kind of look up to do something. Him and Marte, and of course Perdomo has really just kind of risen up the ranks, to be like an elite player. Those three guys at the top, they're going to just not only drive runs in, they'll drive themselves in, but they'll set the table for guys. But you're going to need some help. Just can't rely on those three guys every 3 innings. So, offensively, I'm pretty confident they're going to be able to score enough. But you're going to have to be able to pitch, and until you're able to pitch, you're not going to be able to win. So in this day and age, I mean, you've got to have those arms come in there and put up zeros when you start getting into the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. So you got to, that's one thing you just really got to watch right now is how these guys are going to, how they got to get deep in the game, but it's going to take them, a few weeks to be able to do that.
Tom, is there a time you can remember where you haven't had a lefty in the bullpen to squelch the left-handed hitters, especially maybe in the 8th or 9th inning, i.e. maybe from Otani or a Muncy, if they come up in a tight game, you got no lefties to go against them?
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was with the Dodgers years ago, we didn't have a lefty in the bullpen at one point. And so Lasorda would say, I was lefty, so after I'd pitch, if he really needed to get a lefty out, he'd put the knuckleballer down there to go throw to the guy. So luckily it didn't have to happen. It didn't work, but I would have to go down to the bullpen for one of those just in case things. And but now I think they got stuck because the manager needs to trust the guy they're going to put in. Right. And I think it's a lack of trust with Torrey, so they just got to go with the better arm that somebody can trust to try to get guys out. But I don't think that's going to last like a long time. They're going to have to get like a lefty up here.
I'm saying in the bullpen, the closer question, Paul Sewald, he has been in that closing role since July of 2024. Of course, he's now back in free agency. But is that a concern of you, not really naming who that closer is?
No, I mean, it's, Paul's got some experience, obviously, down there, and he doesn't have the kind of stuff that you're hoping, that a closer has. Going to give a lot of swing and misses and stuff. He's not going to get rattled out there. We all know that. So, Torrey trusts him in that part of it. But at some point, and this happens a lot with Torrey, he doesn't like to name a guy a lot of times. He just likes to go with matchups. Who's coming up this inning? The 8th inning hitters on the other team might be the middle of their order, so you might have to use your guy in the 8th inning and have to close the game out with somebody else in the 9th inning. So he likes to match up with his best pitcher a lot of times when it's not even a closing situation.
Tom, up before the game, Pavin, where did he get some kind of a hip injury or something all of a sudden here?
Elbow.
Elbows? What was it during BP or something like that? Because he was a late scratch.
Yeah, it was the late one. I'm still trying to figure out, get more information on it.
Sure.
And when we go in here to the manager's office, we'll get a full update on all that stuff and what happened. But, it kind of shocked all of us. Like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
We're not quite sure. So hopefully it won't last too long and Pavin's able to get it going again. But we'll find out more about it.
So I'm just curious. So, did you get 18 in before this meeting? I mean, are you able to get? It's got nice golf courses in Orange County.
Riviera?
Yeah, we got 18 in not yesterday, but the day before. He and Chris Garagiola and Josh Tallmaner. We all went out there and played 18. So it was good. I got some meal money now, and I'm feeling good about it.
No, we're not a hole one or anything like the way you spent it for Pro-Am?
No, didn't get the hole in one. I got to save those for the big moments. You know that.
do you call Riviera and just say, hey, I'm Tom Candiotti, can you get me
Candyman on the line?
Is that what happens with that?
Candyman Larry?
About 30 years ago, that would have worked. Now you got to go to the wallet.
So as we put a wrap, we always appreciate you on the road. Looking at this Dodgers team, any chink in the armor anywhere? And then I got to tell you what, this bullpen last night, Trenton, Klein, and Scott, the law firm that is, those guys are midseason form. And seems like they might have been a little motivated to put the bad bullpen moniker from last year away in the dust from last night.
Yeah, they're good. They're solid. They're all the way through. I think people think the Dodgers' weakness is their arms, but we're going to see a kid tonight in Emmett Sheehan who's really good. No one even really knows about this kid. He's really good. So the D-backs offense, they have work cut out for him tonight. I think it's going to be a good matchup with him and Ryan Nelson, actually. But again, it'll come down to the bullpens, and especially early in the year, and that's when you just got to buckle up right now.
Tom, thank you as always on the road. Appreciate you, man. Let's hopefully get a couple W's over there and get that season started, and then opening day at Chase next week. So thank you as always, man. We really appreciate your time.
You got it, man. Thanks for having me.
Got it. Tom Candiotti, Candyman, joining us on the road as they get ready for tonight's game 2 of the 2026 for the D-backs as they fell last night 8-2. Again, all the games can be heard on our mothership, Arizona Sports. Then we get into the weekend. It gets a little tricky sometimes with D-backs and Suns. So sometimes we benefit here on ESPN Radio Phoenix as we get some of those games when there's a carryover or a conflict, I should say. So that's always good. So on Saturday, it's interesting that we get the Suns Jazz. That's not even. So what gets
who's got more weight?
Who's got more weight?
I always thought the Suns had the trump everything.
I don't know. We got Suns. We got Suns on Monday too.
Yeah.
D-backs, I think D-backs are. I think they got it right now. I mean,
maybe they flip a coin. Who knows? But I always thought the Suns had the priority one. We had those kind of games.
There's people much smarter than we.
That's right.
I don't know what's going on there, but again, we're out here at Beats in Peoria, the P83, right across from the street from right County corner to In-N-Out Burger and the Mariners and Padres training facility and training full. Great little spot coming up. Some big NFL storylines. The league is changing up kickoff. It's getting worse and worse. Teams could soon cash in on preseason streaming rights. Think about that. I don't think it's going to work for the Cardinals. And then how about Tom Brady? Got a quick reality check when it came to a possible return, which leads us to our State 48 grouping. It's your call question of the day. You've been listening to us for the last 21 years. Tom Brady's my favorite player. I got my favorite player of all time. I mean, I have every.
You love him.
I have every jersey.
You love him.
I got at an auction I bought the deflated football, that he did.
You got that, huh?
There's many of them. I mean, it was easy. It was like 12 months.
Did you check out the poundage in it?
Yeah.
It was 11 and a half.
It was flat.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's the best use of Tom Brady in 2026? Still playing in the NFL. This is funny. Calling games on Fox, running the Raiders, or flag football evangelist. Still playing, calling games, Raiders, evangelist. Those are your 4 choices. All of our social media platforms have the question up. I'm curious what you think there. No brainer for me. I wish there was another, a 5th one. Just
can't use that one. Family show, right? Family show.
All right, we'll get into some football storylines. Roc and Manuch, give me the out of here, please.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Avoid an AC system breakdown this summer with a $49 AC tune-up from Collins Comfort Masters. Trusted by the community with nearly 11,000 five-star Google reviews and expert techs ensuring the job gets done right the first time. Stay cool and comfortable all season long by calling 480-NO-WORRY or visit collinscomfort.com. Collins Comfort Masters, your no-worry solution for all your air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and water filtration needs.
Back at Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria, where the West Valley goes for big games, big food, and wall-to-wall TVs. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continue on ESPN 620 Phoenix.
The tie, 18. Michael Jordan, 14 seconds.
How about that on this day in 82? Freshman Michael Jordan hits that decisive jump shot with 14 seconds left as North Carolina beats Georgetown 63-62 in the NCAA title game. Some other milestones on this day. The first NCAA championship game. You're going to kind of win some money at the bar. Oregon Ducks beat Ohio State Buckeyes 43-33 in the inaugural Division I men's basketball tournament in 1939. Wow. UCLA's five-peat 1971. Kentucky's fifth title 1978. And some Cinderella runs, if we take you back in history in 2011, if you recall, number 11 seed. VCU pulls off one of the tournament's biggest upsets, beating number 1 Kansas by 10 in the Final Four. And then, this seemed like yesterday, Loyola Chicago, 11th seed, defeats Kansas State to reach the Final Four. I still have that shirt. You see all these schools, you see Villanova, you see these other ones, you see Loyola.
Yeah,
you know,
that's like the hard one to swallow there.
Oh, big time. All right, let's get to football at 50. NFL is moving towards allowing teams to sell preseason game broadcast rights and original programming directly to streamers. It's a big shift for the league. Now, here in Arizona, you see the Cardinals, they'll be on like Channel 5 or Channel 12 or whatever it may be, Channel 3, whatever. It's changed over the years for those 4 preseason games, right? Soon to be 3 preseason games, hopefully all the time. Maybe 2 someday too. But this allows the owners to go out and try to sell the preseason rights to the streaming platforms for those pregame games. Now, this model of Amazon streaming regional Yankees games in New York, that was like the first to do this. So now they're trying to do the same thing. I mean, they already make, $25 billion the business in the NFL.
Boatload.
But this is interesting. I don't think it's going to be a big deal at all for Arizona Cardinals. And the reason why I say that, let's just be honest. There aren't a lot of people out of state that want to go on a streaming service, to buy the Cardinals preseason game. Now, if you're a Packer fan, a Cowboy fan, maybe if you're a Giants fan, maybe I can see someone kind of dishing that money.
I agree with that.
But, but then there's the flip side. We only have three major teams now, right? Of course, Cardinals, Suns, and Diamondbacks. Coyotes have been gone for 2 years now in Utah. So that kind of leaves a bit of what I call more oxygen in the local sports media market. So one fewer team means maybe some opportunity for streaming dollars and some fan attention. But I think the Cardinals, with all the talk now, they're going to tank this year. We know they may win 3, 4, 5 games is the most. Clearly, they're not a team that people are going to spend money to watch for a preseason game.
Well, and even a preseason game, period. I mean, I think a lot of teams, if you're successful, they want to look at the team because only so many guys play. You might have the starters may play a quarter of the entire 3 games for now. So if I'm going to buy it, I want to make sure my team is okay. They build up to that third preseason game. They're going to play majority of the starters. I get a chance to watch them. I can watch some of the free agents. I can watch some of the draft choices. But if you're not a successful team and there's not a lot of juice or excitement about it, I'll just wait till the regular season. I'll follow them. I'll watch highlights. Maybe I'll go to YouTube and watch highlights. I'm not going to pay the money out just to watch preseason games. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of teams will fight is that why would you purchase, even if you're successful, to watch a streaming venue of your team if nobody's playing?
Yeah. Tom Brady told CNBC that he has asked the NFL about a policy around returning to the league as a player while still maintaining minority ownership in the Las Vegas Raiders. And the league basically said they don't like the idea. They just don't like the idea. There was an NFL spokesman confirmed that Brady was pursuing a return, but he would have to diverse his ownership stake in the Raiders because the policies that are there.
He'd have to sell them. Right? Yeah, he'd have to sell them. It's interesting that about 3 weeks ago, I don't know where he was at.
It was the Fanatics flag football.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was saying, I could still play. He goes, I wonder. I mean, he was making those comments about that. I'm going to say, Tom, you're done. I mean,
he's just trying to be relevant.
I think that's a lot of. I mean, the guy's everywhere.
He asked the NFL. They said no. He's fine with it. But the story's more fun because the what if moment.
Sure.
What if he can come back again?
I have
all these goats like to do, like Jordan, Tom Brady. All these goats love to come back after they're gone.
And I think sometimes if you overstay your welcome, you start to falter. Not that Tom Brady would, but if he can't move around and he can't even move in the pocket, now he says he can still throw. By the way, he can still flip it. He can still throw it.
I don't know. I don't have a problem if he wanted to come back and play for the Raiders.
Sure.
Of course. Why not? Who cares? Let him throw a couple pick six in that first game.
He could be one of those policy changers if he ever decided to come back and say no.
If anybody can do it, it's probably him.
Yes, and it would have to be with the Raiders. But if you're developing a young quarterback with Fernando Mendoza, I mean, would they play him and have Mendoza sit? I mean, you're all of a sudden you're the Raiders. You're like, well, we want to go down that road. Hey, Tom, you're doing a good job broadcasting. You're making $35 million a year, whatever it is.
$300 million is their contract.
Yeah. So they make some $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Or if you're really that dialed in with this team, why don't you just come be a full-time management guy like Dan Marino went with the Dolphins? He's the president of the Dolphins. So he put out all the other broadcasts. He broadcasted for 10 years for CBS. Then they made him the president.
Good.
He was real. So
and then,
now,
what's the guy that just left the booth? Now
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Yeah. Ryan is back with as president of the
in the
Falcons.
At about 2:45, there's some polls that need to be filled with some quarterbacks. We'll dive into that story a little bit later, but it's pretty interesting on some of the names that are being thrown out that you may see in that second seat as the NFL tries to fill those holes with some of the teams, or like a Matt Ryan. They need to find somebody, and it seems like they want to find a quarterback. And not sure why. I don't know why you need to have a quarterback.
I let him know I'm not leaving you, Rock. I wouldn't leave.
I know.
No way,
I've been sending your resume out. Not having any much.
No luck. No luck. Huh?
Hey, we're out here being in Peoria. It's a great place. If you have not been out here, this is your part of the town in West Valley. It's outstanding. It's huge. They created a new outside patio, which is it's awesome. But coming up, college sports still broken. Still no fix from Congress. A new law that could keep the Bears in Chicago. Sports, money, politics, it's all straight ahead.
Hey, it's Chris with Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning. We are a family-owned and operated business, and we have been since 1957. Our goal is to leave every customer satisfied and a smile on their face. Ready Services doesn't want to leave your home without leaving you with a 5-star experience. At Ready Services, we believe that we can do a great job at a fair price. Learn more about how we can help you at nofeeemergency.com.
Howdy, everybody. This is rodeo announcer Doug Mathis for Sanderson Ford Cave Creek Pro Rodeo, March 26th through the 29th. You know what goes great with rodeo? Ford Truck Month at Sanderson Ford.
Save on a Ford F-150. Now available with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash and 0 payments for 90 days on all remaining 2025 models.
Don't miss the Cave Creek Rodeo and don't miss Truck Month at Sanderson Ford.
Requires financing with Ford Motor Credit OAC. Offers expire 3/31/26.
He's a husband, a dad, owner of a gym. He's also a police officer. Staying strong and pain-free isn't optional. It's safety. That's why David Boardman's a QC Kinetics patient.
My job is dependent on my physical ability and my physical fitness so that I can protect myself, so that I can go home safe to my family at the end of the night.
But severe knee pain nearly took that away. Doctors said surgery, shut down the workouts. David needed another option. That was QC Kinetics. They told him,
we're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
They used David's own healing tools in his blood to help restore his knees. Regenerative treatments right in the office.
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week.
Trust the team helping active people avoid surgery. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-7246 in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. That's 837-7246, 837-7246.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is not enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. Back at Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria, where the West Valley goes for big games, big food, and wall-to-wall TVs. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continue on ESPN 620 Phoenix.
All right, if you have not heard, Tiger Woods was driving his Range Rover, not his Genesis that Matt Lazarus reported earlier.
I never said
Near the yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You said Genesis.
I said yes, you did. You said Genesis. CC, he said Genesis.
Oh no, I'm gonna make payback.
You even said, look at the picture. Oh, you obviously don't know your car. That's not a Range Rover.
Don't ever assume.
So he was at Jupiter Island when the crash occurred. The car was captured on its side on this television station, WPTV. And now there's a flatbed tow truck nearby the scene. This is all kind of still relatively new.
Fluid story.
Yes. There's going to be a press conference here in a few minutes on the East Coast. But the good news, which should be reported first, the fire department rescue said no one involved was transported to the hospital. One person is stable while the other refused to go to the hospital. So there's no injuries to anyone. An eyewitness told the best source of news, especially sports, TMZ, that Tiger appeared to be okay at the scene. and according to the video shared by CNBC, the scene was cleared like an hour ago already.
Nothing to
course,
see here, right?
but
Nothing
of course,
to see here.
To put things in context, Woods has been deciding or trying to decide whether he's going to return and compete in the Masters in 2 weeks. He's also entered into summer's U.S. Senior Open, which was reported earlier today. So Lads, who thinks he's on, pills, and that's why he got in an accident. Maybe he was celebrating drinking before this, something happened here, and he got, he's celebrating that he's going to be in the U.S. Senior Open, which could have been the case, but that's not. We were being facetious because earlier we were talking about the fact that everybody wants to go negative right away. But we'll wait for this press conference. It's going to happen here soon. CC will go live if we need to, right?
Well, there's a presser right now that they're having there. Sheriff John
right now,
Thundersick.
Yeah.
You know what? I've been getting a couple texts on my guy. Why does Tiger not have a driver with the accidents he's had?
Dude, that's bull.
I agree with that. I'm like,
2
guys,
o'clock in the afternoon. What does he need a driver for if he's just going to?
Well,
Maybe he just got done hitting balls.
I think
Everybody's assuming that he's drinking.
Well, I think
Your buddies
no.
are doing the same thing as
No.
Lads.
Everybody's Everybody's assuming. Well, you're a billionaire.
Why can't you drive?
Well, I'm like you. I'm just telling you that these guys say, guys, he's in Jupiter. He can drive around all he wants. But a lot of guys see these drivers. I said most drivers are like, I don't know, back in New York and some of the other places where driving and traveling is very difficult. But
Would you want a driver all the time?
No,
Exactly.
I got
Why
it.
would Tiger?
I'm just saying, a lot of guys. Hey, he's had 4 accidents. If there is anything to question, have your driver take. Yeah, I'm just kind of giving the feedback. A lot of guys go, well, why does he have a driver? Well, because he's driving. He's got
You don't
stuff
need
to
a
do.
driver.
Yeah, you don't need.
Hey, you gotta call your driver to go hit balls.
A lot of these drivers, I think, are like at your beck and call.
Sure,
You just pretty much go to them.
All right, let's get into some of the nitty gritty in sports, politics, and money. A company called Kashi, seen it? It's been advertised on ESPN. It calls itself the prediction market. Basically, you can bet on almost anything. You can bet Tiger Woods is going to get another accident in a month, right? You can do that.
Yes,
Why are you on your phone and say your head's out?
Let's go. What are you doing, Rook?
The DUI team was on site, and he did show signs of impairment. He crawled out of his passenger door, laying on the side of his car. So he is getting booked and arrested right now.
Oh, interesting. Look at Mr. Johnny on the spot, Mr. Laz on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, Rock, maybe he needs a driver.
Well, maybe he was celebrating, like I said, U.S. Senior Open.
Yeah. Where's your driver if you're celebrating? This will not be good.
So there was a truck with a trailer on the back of it going in a two-lane road going northbound. He was coming the other word, going that same way at a high speed. The guy saw him behind him, so he tried swerving out of the way. Then Tiger swerved the opposite way out, flipped the back apparatus of the trailer, and that caused his car to roll multiple times, landed on the driver's side door. He crawled out the other side of the passenger door, and then the DUI teams immediately said that he was impaired right when they got on site.
Thank God he had a seatbelt on, I guess. If you're going to roll that many times.
But they said he was moving at high speeds as well, so not good.
Well, we'll sit tight to get the full report, but the sheriff,
I mean, it's starting to tarnish his legacy.
Sure, I'd say
if
so.
This is what we're going to talk about every time he gets in some kind of trouble. It's all you're going to go right to pills, drinking, whatever it may be, and it sucks. He needs to get out. He needs to be competitive again. He needs to get on the senior tour. He needs to be playing golf and get back into that routine that he's had since he was 6-7 years old. He's got too much time on his hands.
Well, I don't want to speculate, but I have a feeling it wasn't alcohol. I think it was like maybe a daily pain pill he takes for all the issues he has with his body. And because of that, he's like, oh, well, I don't feel impaired. I do this normally, even though that's a terrible thing to say, a terrible thing to do. I think that is his normal day-to-day routine. And because there was an accident, then it shows that he was slightly impaired, which still will be a DUI to DUI.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, that you get so many guys get hooked on the oxycodone or whatever the pain pills are. And you think about it. I'd mentioned that when Brett Favre got hooked, I mean, he was using it all the time during the season.
Yeah.
So they finally said, look, you need help. It was during the season. And he was gone, a month during the season. So you looked at that and you went, okay, Brett Favre had an episode. Darryl, Doc Good, think of Doc Good with the cocaine and alcohol. He was playing great. Gerald Strawberry. So when you talk about it, Rock, as far as, issues, that are just like normal people that might take somebody's career, do they linger on? Now, Brett Favre, when he got help, got therapy, and got off the pills. Got good, straightened his life out. It was pretty much after baseball. Gerald Strawberry went straighten his life out. So I don't think it's if there was a moment in their career where that might have hung over their head, but now they're leading decent lives. But yeah, there's a time where if a guy is still playing, he's still active, and he's been popped for PEDs. Who's the guy from the Atlanta Braves the second time now?
Yeah, Turkson
Profar the entire season. So when that lingers, you think of the McGuires, the Sosas, the Barry Bonds. When that continues, when you're still playing and that's hovering over your head like that, yeah, that takes your career unless you go get cleaned up, come clean about what you've been doing, and move on from there. So you're right, Rock. Will that raise its ugly head again if he gets on the championship tour or U.S. Seniors Open? Will that always be a question mark? And at what point does Tiger go, I need to go get help once again, which is okay. It happens.
You can say what you want about the President of the United States if you're a fan or not. He reacted today, just moments ago, speaking to reporters. Colin Woods, a very close friend, said, I feel so badly. He's got some difficulty. There was an accident. That's all I know. He's an amazing person, amazing man, but some difficulty.
Sure.
This a guy that hasn't sipped, alcohol or, done any kind of drugs.
But I think the thing is if people are struggling with addictions or whatever, you got to give their space to go get it cleaned up. Now, go get it cleaned up. You might fall. Go get it cleaned up. I think that's the thing. You respect them, and if you got some issues, you gotta give a grace to go get themselves straightened out one way or the other.
So the headline now officially says arrested following rollover crash in Jupiter Island, Florida, charged with DUI and property damage.
Okay. Driving under the influence doesn't necessarily mean alcohol, but
to
your point, it could be anything, right? It could be a stoner. I mean, it could be doing anything.
That was the one in 2017 when he was out driving around and Nick tested him. He was under the influence of pills. I believe it was oxycodone.
I think that's what it's going to be again. Yeah. Some sort of.
Here's the thing, guys.
The thing that's sad about it is it's prescription.
Yeah.
He's just not obviously taking it for his speculation. He's obviously not taking it the way he should be taking it.
Or overtaking it. Trying to.
Or just, maybe.
If he is, he shouldn't be driving when he is taking it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from Tiger. You just obviously just tuned in DUI today. So talking about caution, it's a prediction market where you can bet on almost anything: sports, election, weather. It's going to be 110 tomorrow. You can bet on. You name it. And Arizona says that's gambling, and it's illegal here. So the Arizona Attorney General hit Kashi with 20 criminal charges. This is the first time any state has gone the criminal route against these prediction and market companies. Now, here's what's interesting: is Kashi says they're not a gambling site; they're a financial exchange, like Wall Street, and only the federal government can regulate them. And even the Trump administration said they actually agree with Kashi. Trump's own son is a strategic advisor for the company. A federal regulator came out and said that Arizona's criminal case is entirely inappropriate. So what you really got here is a states versus the federal government showdown. That's what they're doing. We got states that are more left. They're going to fight against right against left, and the whole 9 yards. And sports betting's in the middle of it right now. So the stakes are huge. People are betting $5 billion a week on these prediction market sites. Other states like Ohio, New Jersey, Tennessee, they're already fighting Kashi in court. Legal experts say that Arizona may have just opened the door for even more states to follow. So the bottom line is the question you have to ask yourself if you're into this or not. I signed up. I know Laz has signed up. I've been doing it a little bit. I've had some fun with it. Is this a financial product or is it gambling? That is especially now heading toward a very, very big legal showdown. And whoever wins could reshape this entire sports betting landscape in this country.
So let me ask you this, Rock. So that they want to get their fair share of what's being put out there.
When it regulated.
When it regulated.
Yeah.
So it sounds like to me like gambling was and making it legal. That Kashi's coming on board. Okay, if you're going to come in here to our state And it sounds like Arizona is going to be the litmus test for this moving forward. That, okay, if you want to be legalized or for us to drop charges, you can incorporate us and give us your fair share or the tax on it. I mean, this sounds like to me, I want my fair share if you're going to come into my state. You don't call yourself a gambling situation, but in our eyes, you are. So it sounds like the state wants to come in and hold that over the head unless you pay us.
Everybody wants a piece.
Everyone wants a piece. I mean, that's what this sounds like.
It's a cool prediction mark. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
At first, I wasn't really into it. Then I kind of got into it because I was doing okay. And I mean, you literally can bet on anything.
Well,
I was about to
bet.
tell you, like, guess what
Predict.
some of the things you can bet on today. You can bet on the highest temperature in New York City or any other city today. You can bet on how many more tech layoffs there'll be this year, the Fed decision in April. Like, you can bet on anything.
And I think where it got, maybe not skewed, or where it really kind of blew up was there were some people that were predicting when the conflict in Iran.
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
And I think that's where it got kind of a little interesting. Real quick, I need a couple minutes here, and we're going to be late on this break, so I want to get the story in too. Bernie Sanders is still upset about the Brooklyn Dodgers leaving in 1950.
Come on, Bernie.
And that frustration is kind of inspired him for a new bill that was introduced in Congress. It's called the Home Team Act. This is more for lads. The idea is simple. If you own a pro sports team, this could have helped us, Coyote fans. If you own a pro sports team, you want to move it, you can't just pack up and leave. You have to give the community a serious fighting chance to keep it. Now, here's how it works. Owners would have to give at least 1 year's notice before relocating. Then the local community, let's say Phoenix, gets a chance to buy the team at a fair price. And then think about it, like kind of like a Green Bay Packers model, where the fans actually own the team. If no buyer can meet that price, the owner can then move. But if they skip the process, $30,000 a day in fines, and the cities, states can then sue to block the move entirely. So teams, like everyone's watching right now, it's Chicago Bears. They're eyeing Hammond, Indiana, some other places, but Hammond seems like to be the big one right now. And this bill would stop them cold. You can't cross the state line without first offering the team to sell back to the city of Chicago. And Bernie Sanders is framing this as stop the billionaire owners from they're playing cities against each other, squeezing the taxpayers and billion-dollar stadium deals. Now, does this bill actually pass? The real question is, right now, it's only a Democratic support, and Sanders himself admitted it's not exactly top priority in Washington at this moment, which I think is cool. But if you're a Bears fan, or a fan of any team like it would have been with the Coyotes a couple of years ago, it's not a bad bill. It's worth watching, right? It's a bill you want to keep your eye on.
And I think up first is okay.
I mean, we talked about the Diamondbacks leaving.
Yeah.
Remember, if they're not getting their stadium or getting the renovation they want, they've kind of tossed around. Maybe we'll go to wherever.
But the one thing cities use, they make them if they're gonna have that land lease on that land, a 35, 40-year lease, or if they're getting funding through the city to have a 35 or 40-year lease. Again, there's leases. But here's my thought: is okay. If you're going to try to reconcile, let's say that they want to move, but you got to give us first right refusal to the city, is that city going to pay 10? Let's say the market price is $8 billion for whatever franchise.
Yeah.
It's $8 billion. We've been offered 8.5. All right, city, for us not to leave, you need to trump that 8.5 or $9 billion. Are you going to pay $9 billion, city of Chicago, or whatever it is to buy that team back? Is what it is. And if you can't, people are going to go, wait a second. We don't want you paying $9 billion of our tax dollars to keep the Bears. And then with the Bears at the counter is, or the city go, well, look, here's the tax revenue that if we buy them, we own them. And here's what we get, the revenue we get. So they got to point out the pros and cons.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting. It's a bill where it's worth watching. So, all right. All right, Bernie. Let's see how it works out. All right. Where does Arizona rank among best cities for college basketball? The answer might surprise you. That's not right here. Rock with Jimmy.
Mania is here, and there's only one place to catch every buzzer beater, every upset, every bracket buster. Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with made-from-scratch favorites and the ultimate game day atmosphere. featuring Michelob Ultra all tournament long. Whether your bracket's still perfect or completely busted, Twin Peaks is your headquarters for the madness. Join us at any of the 5 Valley locations: Deer Valley, Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Tempe. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
This week at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, it's the Callaway Fitting and Bonus Trade-In event March 26th through the 29th. The new Callaway Quantum drivers feature Tri-Force base for a quantum leap in distance off the tee. Take advantage of the 50% bonus trade-in towards your new purchase. Swing into Vans Golf Shops or book your fitting online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
You applied to Grand Canyon University because you want somewhere fun and affordable, where hands-on classes and access to industry pros can help you build skills employers need, with the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. You want to feel seen, loved, called to more, to know you found your purpose. Make yourself the main character. Begin your story. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people, with upfront pricing before the work starts, so there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411 24/7. That's catering to 411 247 or Venencias.com.
Avoid an AC system breakdown this summer with a $49 AC tune-up from Collins Comfort Masters. Trusted by the community with nearly 11,000 five-star Google reviews and expert techs ensuring the job gets done right the first time. Stay cool and comfortable all season long by calling 480-NO-WORRY or visit collinscomfort.com. Collins Comfort Masters, your no-worry solution for all your air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and water filtration needs.
Back at Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria, where the West Valley goes for big games, big food, and wall-to-wall TVs. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continue on ESPN 620 Bigs.
Madness is here, of course, at Big's in Peoria. And a new study just ranked the best cities in America to live in if you're a college basketball fan. So these researchers looked at 297 cities with at least one Division I team. And then they scored them on things like winning percentage, ticket prices, and how passionate the fans are on social media. Number one overall. Name that city. They have 4 Division I programs in that city. I wish Jimmy B was here because I can stump him on this one.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nope.
Oh, those got the 3. Bloomington, Indiana.
Nope. You think Bloomington has more than one?
No, that's true. Yeah.
4.
I guess
It's a big
Florida.
city.
I'll say L.A.
There you go. And you name the 4 Division I programs. If you can name the 4, I will buy you.
Okay.
I will buy you a, I don't know, Porsche.
Okay. All right. So UCLA.
Yep.
USC.
Very good. 2 more.
Santa Clara.
Nope. That's not in LA.
Oh,
Can I play?
Hold on.
Wait. You can't help them with CC.
You want to phone a friend in with
My
me?
first guess is
CC probably has a good shot because of him from that area and knows some of the level of these.
I got those 2. I can't do the 2.
All right, CC, I'll let you try. Go ahead, CC. I'm not buying you a Porsche.
That's all right. Can I throw in UC Santa Barbara?
Nope. That's Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
That's not LA.
I would mix those.
These
Okay.
are so hard.
Man.
Think of all right. One of the clues is it's a California State University.
Berkeley?
Nope.
That's Northern California. It's L.A. So L.A. I'm like you, Kyle. I'm just like you.
So hard.
UC
Is it
Irvine,
CSU
but that's in Irvine.
Bakersfield?
Close.
UC Davis?
Nope.
Good guess.
I didn't even know the school even exists.
L.A. City College.
CSU North.
Oh, yeah.
But there's one more.
CSU. Yeah. Okay. So.
Loyola Marymount.
Oh, that's right.
Los Angeles. All right. So here's where Arizona stacks up. Again, 297.
Yes. Yeah.
And only 3 of our cities in our state are on this list. Of course, Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff. Of course, Tucson's got, Arizona,
Right.
and then you got Arizona State and GCU in, of course, Phoenix, and then, of course, NAU up there. So out of the 297, where does Phoenix come in when you look at the, best cities for college basketball fans?
Close to the bottom.
I'm going to say I'm gonna temper that a little bit. At a 297, I'm going to say 53.
Okay.
Oh, I would say like 190.
All right. How about you, Connor?
I'm going to assume that Arizona is going to be considered Tucson, so not Phoenix. I'm going to say 60s in that area, in the 60s.
Phoenix comes in at 98. How about folks down in Tucson? Where does that check in at?
That's top 3.
Oh, I gotta be. I'll say 25. At least 25.
DC?
Yeah, I think you're probably in the top 25 with the folks in Tucson.
179.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
179, and Flagstaff was 192.
Isn't Tucson the basketball mecca for fans?
There's nothing else to do there.
That's true. That's
They
true.
they're a one-sport
Now,
city.
I
You got to
think
remember, we are not a big college basketball
No.
city in Phoenix. Let's just be honest.
Sure.
We are not. We've had our Final Fours. We've had our, regionals, and you can get a ticket the
But-
day of.
is this per capita of the? I mean, are they doing because Phoenix has got close to 5 million people.
Like I said,
And
they
if-
scored. They did it on winning percentage. They did it
Yeah.
on ticket prices. They're thinking about social media. If you guys go social media down in Tucson, I mean,
Has it got there yet?
And then, so here's some of the other big cities in college hoops. As LA, I said, is number 1. Lexington, Kentucky, Philly, New York, and Boston. Some of the mid-size with Durham, North Carolina, Syracuse, Ann Arbor, Akron. We think about Akron, the area. Norman, Oklahoma. Small cities: Lawrence, East Lansing, Chapel Hill. Last place was West Haven, Connecticut. Now they got great pizza, but West Haven, Connecticut, the home of the University of New Haven.
Who made this list?
Wallet Hub.
I think it's wrong.
It's not, dude. Wallet. They read
There you go.
thousands of people.
That list doesn't make sense.
We got the one thing that the scenarios you look at basketball fans. I think of Hoosiers in Midwest. You talk about Lawrence and some of those small Ames, Iowa, Des Moines. Basketball fans there.
Some other news notes about this tournament: $3.3 billion have been bet on it, according to the American Gambling Association. 3.3. That's 54%. That's an increase from just 3 years ago. That is such a huge increase. Workplace people not working. Excuse me. If the roughly 50 million people who fill out a bracket spend just 1 hour of work time on it, that adds up to $1.2 billion of lost wages to be a of an organization.
The production that wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's according to our president, Chandler, Gray, and Christmas. Remember that? They seem like every year they come up, right?
But
and then sports betting, listen to this, is hurting people's credit. So new research from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York shows that there are more states that have legalized mobile sports betting like we do. Consumer credit health has suffered. So the study found that odds of bankruptcy filing in states where legal betting has increased up to 30%.
Wow.
And now
That's
the
not
serious
good.
story is what we talked about just about 15 minutes ago with Kashi in the prediction markets, which is going to make this number even bigger.
So So when you bet responsibly, folks.
Prediction markets are spreading like wildfire because it started with Kalshi and Polymarket, and now DraftKings just unveiled their prediction markets and BetMGM. So it's becoming a new trend for sure.
All right, it's Sweet 16 Friday. We're out here at Biggs in Peoria. The lines are set. Ken St. John's cover against Duke. Is Michigan worth the 8.5? We're going to catch up with Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com. He will have all four sides. That is coming up right after CC with this ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Wildcats are headed to the Elite Eight after a dominant 109-88 win over Arkansas, shooting nearly 64% from the field with star freshman Koa Pete scoring 21 and Braden Berry adding 23 of his own. 6 Wildcats finished in double figures. The Arizona Diamondbacks dropped their season opener to the Dodgers 8-2 with Geraldo Perdomo driving in both runs on a homer as they look to bounce back tonight in Game 2 of the series. First pitch set for 7:10 p.m. And the Phoenix Suns continue their push for a play-in spot with another big game coming up this Saturday as they return home to face the Utah Jazz at the Mortgage Matchup Center. When it's game time, it's big time. Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria is one of the best spots in the valley for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. Find them in Peoria at the P83. Coming up next, sports handicapper Scott Spreitzer joins the guys talk a little March Madness.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Hey listeners, how do you help first responders and their families when they need help? Well, you can come to a benefit concert party at Kierland Golf Course in the Marshalls Pavilion. Friday night, May 8th, 80s cover band Rock Lobster. They tear it up in the AZ band scene. Food, drinks, and fun for great cause. The 100 Club of Arizona has been assisting public safety members since 1968 with line of duty death, mental health, safety equipment, and scholarship for family members. Go to 100club.org. That's 100club.org events page.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000. Now, sports gamblers, Scott Spreitzer, one of the leaders and most trusted names in the country. Nobody watches and studies games more than he does. From DocSports.com, here's Scott Spreitzer, exclusively on with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Oh, man, this is good stuff for all you folks that are into the madness and gambling and gambling responsibly, but having some fun. And we are fortunate to have the best in the business. He's been with us for over 16 years. Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com joins us to handicap St. John's Duke, Alabama, Michigan, Michigan State, UConn, and Tennessee, Iowa State. But first, how you been doing so far this season of madness there, Scott? How's it been going so far?
I'm doing okay. I'm ahead of the game, but not as good as last year when I couldn't miss. I mean, I got every break in the book last year. My team could be laying 5 and be down by 10 with a minute to go and win by 6. So we're not getting the last second 50-50 winners, but we're ahead at 6-5-1, and the top plays are 0-1-1. Excuse me, are 1-0-1. We had a top play on Zona last week. Now I cashed at minus 11.5, but I know about half the client pushed, so I counted as a push in that Arizona win last week, and then I had Arizona again last night over Arkansas. So the Wildcats have been very good to me thus far.
Did it make a difference that Nebraska only had 4 guys on the floor on that last play, or does that never get incorporated in any kind of betting?
I've never had to handicap 4 guys, against 5, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, it's a situation where, you know what? Listen, I'm a Fred Hoiberg fan as a coach and as a basketball player when he played, but Ben McCollum, are you kidding me, North Carolina? You need to go and empty the vault and bring whatever he wants, offer it to Ben McCollum and say, you can be mayor of Chapel Hill. You can be governor of North Carolina. You are one of the best coaches in the last 20 years. Here's everything you want, and come and see if you'll if you'll coach at North Carolina. I mean, this guy's amazing. And he did everything he had to do and pulled the right strings after his team got off to a real slow start. They were, trailing by double digits in the first half. But look what he's done. He's 81%. He's the Kirk Cignetti of college basketball, if I could go that far. What he did before he got to Drake, his 1 year at Drake, 31-4, a win in the big dance over Missouri. And now what he's done with an Iowa team that is out, I don't know, I guess that's the wrong term because it doesn't fit grammar, but I'm going to do it anyway. He's out talented on the floor in almost every single game they play when they match up against top 25 opposition. He's just amazing. And they keep talking about all these guys that Carolina's going to go after the last few days. I'm telling you what, I would be offering Ben McCollum everything he wants. Give him whatever he wants. Let him come to Chapel Hill, and they'll be back in the top 5 every single year.
All right, let's start with St. John's Duke. Tip-off just after 4 o'clock. Duke almost a touchdown favorite over St. John's. I think you can make a case that St. John's and the Red Storm, they're playing with house money after that buzzer beater to knock out Kansas. What's the spread, and how are you handicapping this?
Yeah, right now you've got the totals. What I've been looking at, it's dropping. I got under 142.5 a couple of days ago. It's now down to 140.5 and 141. As far as the side, Duke is 6.5. I've got about 18 books in front of me on my screen. Excuse me, on my line service. About 6.5 is the number everywhere except for one joint, which is the Circa in Las Vegas, which has them 7. But my biggest issue with Duke guys is their 3-point shooting. If they were better at making the tray and more trustworthy at the free throw line, I don't believe anyone knocks them off. They just struggle sometimes from the arc, and they're 20 of 72, which is a little less than 28% shooting the three-pointer over the last 3 games. And then if you go back to that ACC tourney game against Florida State when they almost lost, they were 10 for 34 from the three-point line. So you've got St. John's outstanding against both the 2 and the 3. They aren't too hot themselves on the offensive end. And then, of course, you've got Duke, who's the number 1 ranked team in defensive adjusted efficiency. Neither team gives up second chances. They're good on the defensive glass. I think it stays under the total. And even though it's dropped a little bit, I still like it under. If I had to play this side, I would look for 7, which you can find again here in Vegas. Take that 7 with St. John's if I were to play the side. But my official play is the under of this one.
Hey, I'm just going to check how many Boozer Brother commercials over under during these playoff rounds. I mean, I must have seen them 5 times, 5 different State Farm commercials with the Boozer Brothers.
And not only that, can they call a foul on these guys? It's like those guys get away with murder out there on the floor. You feel like Coach K is still coaching, and they get to do whatever they want. I mean, I think Cameron had like 3 fouls against TCU, but I'm telling you, Caden Boozer should have had 2 or 3, and his brother Cameron, he should have had like 5. I mean, give me a break. So one of those situations when you handicap Duke games, you got to figure that you're not going to get a whole lot of calls against the Boozer guys.
All right, the second game here, Scott. Alabama versus Michigan. Last time we looked, Michigan was what, -8.5? Is that correct?
Yeah, a lot of 9s out there now, 8.5. This line has dropped from where it opened. And, I like the Wolverines here, guys. I mean, Alabama wants to run, attack the rim, and when the rim is protected, they like to kick it out for the open look. But Michigan has the big man. Mara inside protects the paint well. And the Wolverines are 4th in 2-point accuracy allowed, and they're 30th against the three-pointer on the defensive end. Everything that Alabama does, Michigan is almost designed to stop. Not necessarily that they were preparing for Alabama under May, but the bottom line is that that's what they do. Everything that they do right is what Alabama wants to do as far as attacking on the offensive end. And then Michigan can match Alabama's pace, and they're better at finding the target on offense as far as accuracy is concerned. They also crash the glass better than Bama at both ends. So this is like last night, man, with that Arizona game. The point is money just kept coming in throughout the couple of days leading up to that game on the dog. We jumped on Arizona when that number fell down to where it did, 7.5 at one point, that it came back up. And I think this is the same situation. They've been betting against Michigan, and now that it's dropped where it has, I like the Wolverines.
All right, Michigan State, UConn, 6:45 start. Earlier in the week, some were saying it's more of a flip of a coin game. The spread, I believe, is 1.5. Now I see 3.5 on DraftKings. Where are you seeing this, and why do you think the spread has moved a little?
Yeah, I see a lot of 2s out there and some 2.5s. You mentioned you saw 3.5 at DraftKings. Yeah. I like UConn in this game a little bit. I mean, you got 2 of my favorite coaches, first of all. And, maybe not Dan Hurley sometimes with his on-court antics or getting into it with opposing fans. But when it comes to handicapping and betting, I couldn't care less about that stuff. And his X's and O's are obviously as good as it gets. Is obviously fantastic. In fact, this edition of Michigan State, this team was power rated outside the top 35 back in November. And yet here they are. They were one of the 7 teams to enter the dance that fits the qualifications of 28 of the last 29 national champions, which is to be in Ken Palm's top 25 in both offensive and defensive adjusted efficiency. That's the job Izzo's done this year. Having said that, I believe UConn can defend well enough inside or inside the arc to be able to thwart the Spartans enough to win this game. I mean, Mich State isn't the best 2-point shooting team in the land. They're not bad, but they're nothing to write home about. They don't shoot enough threes to make a big difference if things are bottled up inside. And the Huskies are 12th in the nation holding teams to less than 46% 2-point shooting. Meanwhile, UConn is lights out when it comes to shooting from inside the 3-point line at the other end. So I think Hurley advances to another Elite 8, but I can't wait to watch the battle, the chess match between these 2 fantastic, legendary coaches.
All right, Scott, the last one, Tennessee versus Iowa State. Last time I looked, Iowa State -3.5. Now, rumor has it that the big fella for Iowa State, Jefferson, may go tonight. Do you have the latest info on that, one way or the other?
Yeah, he was at shoot-arounds yesterday. One of the things that caught my attention is that Jefferson said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said it would be nice to get a couple of more days off. I think we can get to Sunday. That's not the thing I want to hear my players saying. I think we can get to Sunday, and so, you're going up against a pretty good team here. So here's the thing. When facing Tennessee, the last thing you want to do is be shorthanded or less than 100% inside. And if Jefferson plays, maybe he's going to be healthier than we all think he will. But I'm of the belief that he's going to be less than 100%. And it's a game-time decision. So Tennessee's the best in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. They get a lot of follow-ups when they miss their shot. And they're strong on the defensive glass, too. They're outstanding on the defensive end. They hold teams to 30.5 3-point shooting. That's top 20 in college baskets. And I think that'll hurt the Cyclones, who do damage on the perimeter. I mean, Rick Barnes knows how to get to the Elite 8. This would be his third straight trip. At the very least, I believe they cover this number. It's one of those things where it's tough. I keep telling people maybe kind of wait, because there are some 4s out there. If you see that number changing and dropping, you jump in right away. But you kind of wait, because maybe Jefferson looks like he's going to play and that number goes up a little bit. So I think Tennessee's the play over Iowa State. If Jefferson was a healthy player and had no issues going on at all, I think Iowa State would probably catch him here and get him. But, boy, it's just tough. Against this interior of Tennessee, if he's unable to play or not quite at the level that he normally is, I think it's a tough road to hoe for Iowa State to cover this number.
And Scott, is it because it's Iowa State too much guard focus from Chilovich and Lipsy, that they're relying on them too much versus the big guys down low? Is that kind of your contention?
Yeah. Against a team like Tennessee, definitely. I'm a big TJO, the coach. I'm a big Otzelberger fan. I was highly disappointed when UNLV let him get away. They could have opened up the vault. They didn't do it. Now look what they're doing with a mediocre coach as opposed to what Iowa State's doing with TJO. But, yeah, I think it's a situation where, if Jefferson's unable to play at 80 or 90% or play at all, this is just the wrong matchup for them against the kind of defense that Tennessee plays and how they can attack the rim inside.
I'm curious when it comes to the Elite Eight, and I know we didn't put this on the lineup, but if you don't mind, and let's just get some 2 cents on Iowa and Illinois, and then Purdue, Arizona tomorrow. That the first game starts 3:00 here locally, and then it's close to 6:00 on the second game, Arizona, Purdue. Right now, I see Illinois minus 6.5. How's that looking on some of your boards?
Yeah, I might jump in on the side later. I already jumped in on the first half total in this one, which was 64.5, and I played it under. There was a regular season meeting. Illinois won 75-69, but it was a horrible start by the Hawkeyes. It was 29-11. Illinois was about 12 minutes into the game. They shot poorly, and Illinois was red hot. But Iowa's weakness is their defensive play against teams that attack the rim. They didn't have to worry about that against Nebraska. But obviously, Illinois is a little bit better at that. They're top 35 in the nation attacking the rim on offense. And to do that, to get that ball to the rim, you got to work the ball around. You can't just throw it down the court, hope to get layups. You got to pass the ball. You got to look for the open man inside. He's got to beat his man inside. And speaking of slow tempos, Iowa plays the 5th slowest adjusted pace in the country. I think, we saw 60 possessions. That was it. Illinois-Houston game the other night. I think this one's similar. And I like it to start out slow. So under 64.5 in the first half was a bet that I've already made on that game.
So when it comes to Arizona, Illinois, looks like it minus 6.5. Where
right.
I think that number's fair.
I do. I think 6.5 is about where I made it. I mean, I believe Purdue can give Arizona.
Hey, what did I say?
Illinois.
Oh, I'm sorry. Arizona, Purdue.
I think Purdue could give Arizona a better game than Arkansas did. My top play on Thursday, as I mentioned, was the Wildcats, and it really came down to style because Arkansas was a bad team at defending the 2, and the Wildcats do all their work inside the 3-point line. Their 3-point to 2-point attempt ratio is the 3rd lowest in college basketball. And what makes it tough to go against the Wildcats here again is that Purdue's nothing special defending inside the arc. They're not as bad as Arkansas, but they've allowed 56% 2-point shooting to their 3 big dance opponents, Queens, Miami, and Texas. I think Purdue's going to slow this game down to try to even up that deficiency. So, I mean, Utah State was able to slow Zona down a bit. I think Purdue can. So I like under 153.5 here. Again, I may be on just these 2 totals. I haven't looked at the side, but because of Purdue's 2-point struggles at times on defense, and Arizona's so darn good at shooting the deuce, that to me it's tough to go against Arizona. They've been really good to me so far in the dance.
Scott, great stuff, buddy. Thank you. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, guys. Good luck.
Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. You can follow him on X at Scott Wins. Laying it out there for Sweet 16 here on a Friday. And then, of course, the Elite Eight so far, two games tomorrow. We will continue on. We're out here at Biggs American Bar and Grill in Peoria, one of the best spots in the valley for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. Biggs in the P80 ring. Stafford, Rogers, Cousins, the broadcast booth is waiting. But first, Florida's Attorney General's threatening the NFL over the Rooney Rule. Big story straight ahead when it comes to football. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. from Biggs.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are back, live from Big's American Bar and Grill, a proud partner of ESPN 620 Phoenix, serving up big portions, cold drinks, and nonstop sports.
All right, Major League Baseball kicked off yesterday. And if you're thinking of hitting up some baseball games this spring, you may want to consider a high school game instead. A new report found the average cost of a Major League Baseball game for a family of four this season is $225.90. Now, that's assuming you're able to avoid the team shop. And if you go in that team shop, that number almost doubles.
You got to get something, Rock.
So, we saw I think it's Bookies, or what was this company? I think it was, I don't have the source and I apologize, but I'm going to guess it's Wallet Hub. So what they did is they ranked all 30 ballparks. The cost of 4 tickets, cheapest available, average across all their home games, 1 parking pass, 2 16-ounce beers, 2 20-ounce sodas, 4 dogs. No peanuts, no cotton candy, no merchandise. And not surprisingly, the Dodgers are the most expensive at $413. I mean, you got $1 billion payroll. I mean, it's not going to pay for itself,
Sure.
right? So
Dodgers aren't cheap, Rock.
the rest of the 5 are the Boston Red Sox, $373. The homeless Athletics that now play in Sacramento, they came in at third, $324.
The A's,
the Cubs, $314, and then San Francisco Giants, $284. Now the Miami Marlins are the cheapest. This is where the Diamondbacks used to be, but they're not quite there anymore. They're not on the bottom half of the 5 or the top half of the 5. That's fine. They're right kind of in the middle, maybe. And you look at the bottom 5, and I mentioned the Marlins. The Reds, 164. Cardinals, 165. I'm surprised the Angels even have a team. They're 166, and the Kansas City Royals, 168.
well, you got to get folks there at the stadium. I mean, the Angels are just, to your point, hapless for the last several years. You know, you think of those top teams, cost of living team, obviously L.A. Now Sacramento, where the A's are currently, who knows, budget ball, whatever you want to call it. Then Boston, I think the other cities are the high cost of living cities. But man, oh man, just for that basic nuts and bolts, just just a dog, your beer, get in, get out, $225. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of dough.
Yeah. I mean, D-backs have that value meal, which is really cool. You get the low price dog and soda and popcorn and all that. Now, the Chicago teams, the Cubs and White Sox, have the price of parking. That's fine, man. There's just not a lot of places to park in both those stadiums. New York Mets have the most expensive soda, and the Washington Nationals get the distinction of having the highest beer prices. All right, Front Office Sports, which is kind of a sports business website, recently had an article that examined the odd dynamic in the NFL media right now. There are TV slots that have opened up. Matt Ryan left CBS for the Falcons front office. Michael Vick left Fox, the coach at Norfolk State. Yet there's some quarterbacks that are most suited to fill some of those roles, but they're still playing. So what was mentioned in this article, the number one guy that they have touted as the one we'll see on Sundays is Matt Stafford. He's considered the gold standard of quarterbacks with a TV future. 38 won the MVP, of course, this last season. He's going to run it back with the Rams this year. He's already appeared on Fox's pregame show. He's got the big family. He's got the beautiful wife. He just checks all the boxes. So he comes in at number one. Number two is Kirk Cousins. Now, could he be persuaded? You know, he's 37 years old, free agent, been released by the Falcons. He says that he feels rejuvenated, that he wants to keep playing, but he's already worked as a guest analyst for CBS during the postseason. He's earned over $300 million playing. I can see a TV deal could lure him away. You say, hey, I had a good time, and he could go in the booth, and he could be like, one of those guys. Like, there have been some guys that go in the booth for, 6 months or 6 weeks, and then they go back and play.
If he comes back anywhere, he'll probably get the league minimum with a bunch of incentives. He could probably go make league minimum. It's probably for him, probably $1.5 million. They might pay him maybe $3 million. He'll probably make twice the amount of money as a broadcaster than going back and play. Aaron Rodgers. Now, his media stock has rebounded after leading the Steelers to the playoffs. When he was in New York, it was a joke, right? I mean, jeez, it was a nightmare with him there. And if there's any interest from some of the parties out there, I think you just move along. He has already said he wants to disappear once his post-career goes on. He doesn't want to do television. I see him doing like long-form podcasts with like Joe Rogan. I see him doing more of that stuff. Those kind of, just long-form is what I want to call it. I think he's more, he's one of those deep-thinking kind of guys, wants to give his opinion, put things out there. Now, look, money can cure all situations. If they offer him a big enough nut, he knows the game inside, not just a matter how you communicate.
Joe Flacco was on this list. He just signed a one-year deal with the Falcons, the Bengals for $9 million. So he's still playing, but he is seen as a future solid TV analyst. He's got nearly 50,000 career passing yards. He's got a great personality, good Philly guy. Russell Wilson most likely will be available.
Good
now
choice.
Given his journeyman status across 4 teams in 5 seasons. So I think he's got a lot of upside when it comes to TV. Either way, the landscape has changed. There's some openings. So we'll see who's going to be the next couple QBs, if it's going to be a QB.
Yeah, I will be curious to see who takes Matt Ryan's slot with CBS. I mean,
it's a big spot.
It's a big, big spot. I mean, I know they're talking to a few guys. I'm a little intrigued why Chase Daniels hasn't been, he's elevated to maybe something like that. He does a very good job. They just got that one show that was canceled with our good buddy.
But he's on I saw him on another show. He's getting a lot of play. Good looking dude.
Yeah.
He's very articulate. He's good at journeyman. Played on a lot of teams. I think he's a natural.
Yeah.
He'll probably get it. He'll get an opportunity.
Yeah, that CBS spot. That's a great show. I like all the pre-games, but with him and some of the other guys that are on that, Coach Cowher, I mean, it just brings a lot to it. But I really like that perspective from that standpoint. But there's a lot of guys that could retire if they decide to come on and fill those roles, just get a little experience.
Hey, this segment is brought to you by Wright Toyota. The right price, the right selection, and always the right dealership located in Scottsdale and Franklin Wright Boulevard. Wright Toyota has the right deal for everyone. They were nice enough to let us come to Bigs today. Typically, we're there on a Friday. We have a set there and everything. So appreciate Jamie and his crowd, or his guys. It is the end of the month, so if you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, head over to Wright Toyota. All the vehicles are on their website at righttoyota.com. All right, D-back fans, welcome back to baseball. The good news, it was opening day. The bad news, the Dodgers reminded everyone exactly why they're chasing a free deep. We'll also catch up with Mike Adris. He'll recap last night's game, preview games, that is, as well as we'll look ahead to today's game, which will get tipped off here just after 4 o'clock. It's Roc and Manuch, WB here on Bigs in Peoria. You can hear us on ESPN for Phoenix at 620. We're on FM at 98.72. On the Air Sports app. We're on YouTube and all the social media platforms. So our number 3 is next, right here on Roc and Manuch.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't want to get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let them know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What in the world is going on? You didn't hear? You can get iPhone 16e at Cricket Wireless for $0 when you switch.
iPhone 16e for $0?
Oh, no way. Yeah, and it has Apple Intelligence so you can clean up your photos. Clean up your photos.
Okay, but what's the hurry? The offer ends soon.
What they said.
Switch to Cricket and get iPhone 16e for $0 with no activation fee. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line and port in on the $60 Supreme Unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax to its sale. Terms and restrictions apply. See store for details.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take him on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust. Call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Right Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Right Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Right Toyota. Right Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Right Toyota. Make the right choice, Right Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. Back at Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria, where the West Valley goes for big games, big food, and wall-to-wall TVs. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continue on ESPN 620 Phoenix.
Yeah, we're going to see a kid tonight in Emmett Sheehan who's really good. No one even really knows about this kid. He's really good. So the D-backs offense, they have work cut out for him tonight. I think it's going to be a good matchup with him and Ryan Nelson, actually. But again, it's going to come down to the bullpens, and especially early in the year, and that's when you just got to buckle up right now.
Tom Candiotti joined us earlier in the program. You can hear that entire interview at Arizona Sports. And we will get to that in just a moment and get into some D-backs talk. But some big developments from the sheriff's press conference regarding Tiger Woods as he was arrested on DUI suspicion today. And it happened in a rollover crash in Jupiter. It happened around 11 a.m. our time, 2 p.m. Eastern, Jupiter Island. A pickup truck pulling pressure cleaning trailer was traveling northbound where the speed limit is 35 miles an hour before attempting to pull over into a driveway. At that time, the driver of the pickup looked in his rearview mirror, saw an SUV, which was a Range Rover, which was driven by Tiger Woods, and who was overtaking him at a high speed. As the pickup driver tried to avoid the fast approaching, is what it says here, SUV on a small 2-lane road, Woods' SUV swerved left, clipping the trailer. The collision caused the SUV to roll over on the driver's side and slide some distance before it stopped. Now, Woods was uninjured. He was able to climb out of the SUV on his own. The driver of the pickup truck was not injured. DUI investigators called to the scene determined that Tiger was lethargic and didn't exemplify signs of impairment, or did, I should say, exemplify signs of impairment. So they did some road tests, and taking into account Woods' injury history and his physical limitations, they still did the tests, and they believed on the scene that he was not impaired on alcohol, but they did believe that it was some type of medication or drug. There were no drugs or medications that were found in the vehicle. He took the alcohol test. He registered at 0.0, but he refused to give the urine sample. And then he was charged with DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit the lawful test of the urine. By Florida statute, Woods was scheduled to remain incarcerated in the Martin County Jail for at least 8 hours after the arrest, and then would be released on bond. So the sheriff notes here say that had there been somebody moving in the opposite direction, we would not have been having a conversation saying there were no injuries, because it could have been a lot worse. He said he was cooperative, but he was not trying to incriminate himself, so he was careful with what he said, didn't say, and the police knew that, who it was. They knew that this was a high-profile figure, so they were white glove treatment. I'll put those words in there.
Sure.
But basically, that was it. So this marks the second DUI arrest. He had one in 2017 in Palm Beach, where he pleaded guilty in reckless driving. He paid a fine. He completed DUI school. So developing story, and we'll have to see what happens. I'm sure his PR team will have to release something here sooner than later. So that is the latest on Tiger Woods' DUI.
Would they ever resolve when he missed the curve, when he wrecked his car, hit the tree, and got those pins? I think it was Drew Brees' event that he was coming from. Did he just? I guess he said he just didn't see it because of the glare in the morning. He was speeding when he came around that curve in California. I guess the glare hit it and went off the tree. And now he's lucky he survived that one. So he crawled out of that. Matter of fact, people went and helped him out of that crash. And you always remember the very first one when his ex-wife at the time was chasing him out of the driveway, and he wrecked that car. So this again, it sounds like allegedly, with allegations for now, what they feel is that there is, they're driving under the influence, whether it's pills, whether it's oxycodone, whatever it is that he has in his system. And I think eventually they're going to have to test him, I would think. Whatever they find out.
But he said no, he doesn't have to.
Well, he didn't have to, but that's one reason why they arrested him. So,
yeah, I understand that, but they'll never know.
Well, they probably won't, but
they won't.
Well,
probably if he doesn't take the test, they won't know.
Well, the charge will still stand.
Yeah, but that's fine. But he can speculate, and everybody can speculate all they want. But unless they have that urine sample or blood sample, what are they going to do?
Okay, and here's my contention: if he was clean, he'd had no objection to take that urine sample.
We know he's not clean. He's
I know
he knows
that
he has right. He's on medication.
exactly. Yeah. Did he admitted
Dude,
that?
I'm on medication.
No.
You're on medication.
No, I'm not
You're
on.
gonna get. You're gonna get. It doesn't matter. You're on any kind of medication. It can show up in a blood
If
test.
you're
or
exactly,
urine test.
yeah, but there's some medications you're not allowed to drive.
True.
Yeah, and that's the oxycodone. They say not to drive. There's other painkillers that are out there that you're not allowed to drive. What I'm trying to get to is that you got a situation. The Tigers got to be. This is the second time that if it stands up that it's whatever the pain med was, because he admitted to it on the one. He was on pain meds. If he's admitted to, hey, look, I'm on pain meds. I was speeding, whatever, like he did last time. He pleaded guilty, being on the pain meds, paid his fine, whatever he did. If this one is the same way, which says, hey, look, I'm on my pain meds. He didn't want, he refused the test, that he just pays the fine, pleads guilty. At some point, Tiger's got to realize, or the community he's in, has got to realize that either they take his license away for a year or 2 years, or that something's got to be done so that he doesn't put himself and anybody else in harm's way. And as the sheriff said, they're very lucky that nobody was coming the other way when he tried to avert this trailer and created a heads off. So I think at this point, Tyler's got to really take a self-check on getting out there. If he is on his pain meds, then have a driver take you to and from. If you're trying to heal up, get yourself ready.
All right, D-back fans. Of course, last night, opening day. That's the good news. Bad news. We found out what Dodgers are all about. Highlight came early in the top of the fourth. And Perdomo launched a 398 two-run homer off of Yamamoto. Yamamoto, who was clocked at 102 miles per hour off the bat. That gave a 2-0 lead, and then it didn't last, and then all the momentum shifted to the Dodgers as Zach Gallen went into the fifth, but that wasn't enough. The Dodgers then exploded for 4 runs in that fifth, another 4 in the seventh, a bunch of home runs. They totaled 12 base runners in just those 2 innings. One of the D-backs' key bullpen additions this offseason, we got to look at him, Taylor Clark. Rough introduction. He surrendered 4 earned runs while putting just 1 out in that 7th inning. It was not the best debut as the Diamondbacks, but, pitching aside, Gallen actually looked fairly sharp through those 4 innings. He had good command, and I think, in my opinion, was solid. But, of course, Manuch will say, oh, the 5th inning. Well, we got 4 in his first game. I'll take it. Again, it's not what we liked, but 7 of the Dodgers' 10 hits came with 2 strikes.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
A reminder of what makes this offense so dangerous for the Dodgers. They're never really out of it, no matter how well you can execute. The Dodgers are just so strong. But bright spots, as I mentioned, Perdomo, that's probably the only bright spot. One more thing to note, though, Peyton Smith was scratched before the game with left elbow soreness, and the team said that they don't believe it's anything serious, but it's not a way to open the season. So they'll be back at it tonight, tomorrow, Dodger Stadium, first pitch. I believe it's 6:10.
Tonight? Tomorrow night or tonight?
Tonight.
I think it is 7. I believe so. The one thing you
7:10.
You're excited to see is just baseball happening again, and now you realize why. To your point, this Dodger team is so good with 2 strikes, and it was fun to hear Gonzo in the booth last night with Laura Horsheiser, both them in the booth, and playing Kershaw on the sideline there in the dugout. I really enjoyed how they explained the at-bats, the pitches. When you watch the Trinan come in relief for Yamamoto, throwing that big sweeper, they talked about it, and Kershaw goes, well, I'll throw it again. And I forget who was at bat at the time that was just really, it's Lawler was that bat. So he was at bat, and he was really struggling with it, and he said, well, throw it again. And then the third time he did, he threw more time. He said, Lawler's not adjusting. And to hear Gonzo and these guys talk about the pitchers, the hitters, was really a good insight with those guys tag teaming, whether the Dodgers were up or the Diamondbacks. But all that being said, game 1, anxious to see this Sheehan kid, as Tom Candia had alluded to watch him. And then Ryan Nelson, who I felt was the best pitcher for the Diamondbacks last year, to have a strong game against this Dodger team. And hopefully you get 2 out of the 3. If not, just get yourself some assimilation or getting back on track.
Some of the highlights yesterday, 11 games as the Mets stunned everybody. Paul Skeens, the Cy Young winner,
Lit up, man.
was, just 2 outs. They got him out. 2 outs in that first inning. Of course, we mentioned the Dodgers. And how about Christopher Sanchez struck out 10 scoreless in 6 scoreless innings for the Philadelphia Phillies. We got to open a bunch of games today, but of course, 4 Sweet 16 games yesterday with Purdue over Texas, Iowa over Nebraska, Illinois over Houston, of course, Arizona routing Arkansas. But again, tonight got some big games with the tournament beginning at 4:10, which is great, a little bit earlier than we had in the past.
Yeah, the Purdue game, you see a lot. That Purdue game was just hard to watch. Purdue, Texas.
Purdue's just a boring team.
Yeah, they are. But Rock, how many reviews do they have to do in the game last? I counted 6 reviews that they had.
That what it was? 6?
Yeah, they had 3 or 4 in the first half. And even the announcers, I could sense, were getting a little frustrated. I forget who they were. They were like, just call the game, go with it. And then the old proverbial saying, details, fundamentals, walk out. That tip by that kid from Purdue at the very end. And then how do you not have 5 guys on the floor in that Nebraska game?
Well, they do things about it.
Well, they do, but Hoiberg's got to know better.
Yeah.
If you can't get your guy in, you got to call another timeout.
Did they have timeout?
Well, I think they did. I think they want more. But here's the thing: is that as much of a faux pas as
It's on the assistant coaches.
Yeah, it had to be absolutely.
Yeah,
You got to count.
Yeah.
And then what they're saying is the officials will usually say, "Well, you got 6 guys in," but they can't say anything if you only got 4. If you only play 4, then so be it.
Yeah.
So is this a faux pas like Chris Webber in the timeout? It's got to be close, right?
Yeah. All right. Coming up, Mike Agents will join us in about 15 minutes. We'll talk about those games yesterday as well as look ahead today. But CC and Laz, we're going to give the keys to the show, and it's called Producer Paybacks. And that is coming up next. Rock and Manuch, you can be on ESPN Radio.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Mania is here, and there's only one place to catch every buzzer beater, every upset, every bracket buster. Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with made-from-scratch favorites and the ultimate game day atmosphere, featuring Michelob Ultra all tournament long. Whether your bracket's still perfect or completely busted, Twin Peaks is your headquarters for the madness. Join us at any of the 5 Valley locations: Deer Valley, Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale, and Tempe. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey listeners, how do you help first responders and their families when they need help? Well, you can come to a benefit concert party at Kierland Golf Course in the Marshalls Pavilion. Friday night, May 8th, 80s cover band Rock Lobster. They tear it up in the AZ band scene. Food, drinks, and fun for great cause. The 100 Club of Arizona has been assisting public safety members since 1968 with the line of duty death, mental health, safety equipment, and scholarship for family members. Go to 100club.org. That's 100club.org events page.
This week at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, it's the Callaway Fitting and Bonus Trade-In event March 26th through the 29th. The new Callaway Quantum drivers feature Tri-Force space for a quantum leap in distance off the tee. Take advantage of the 50% bonus trade-in towards your new purchase. Swing into Vans Golf Shops or book your fitting online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Avoid an AC system breakdown this summer with a $49 AC tune-up from Collins Comfort Masters. Trusted by the community with nearly 11,000 5-star Google reviews and expert techs ensuring the job gets done right the first time. Stay cool and comfortable all season long by calling 480-NO-WORRY or visit collinscomfort.com. Collins Comfort Masters, your no-worry solution for all your air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and water filtration needs.
Watch out. It's time for Producer's Payback. It's time! CC and Laz are stepping out from behind the glass to stir up some fun with the guys. Surprises, laughs, and a little chaos guaranteed.
But you don't say that.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD-2.
Let's round the boys out.
All right, out here in Bates in Peoria, the P83 just across the street from Peoria Sports Complex, home of the Mariners and the Padres. And we're here till 4 o'clock, and then they want us out of here because we have 2 tables that we're using for our set today, and the place could be absolutely packed. And they have inside, outside. They got the AC down to about 50, and
It's freezing.
It's so good in here. But the beers
I need
are
a
cold
jacket.
too. Everything's big here. So good stuff here in Bates in Peoria. All right, this is called Paybacks, Producer Paybacks, where CC and Laz get to kind of have some fun with myself, Manuch, and Jimmy B. Is this CC's last one, or is he here next Friday?
We got one more.
One more? Is that going to be like a really good one, I hope?
Yeah, that'll be like the finale of the fireworks show. We're just going to unleash all of them.
Good stuff. Yeah, maybe we'll start at 3.
Yeah.
You know, instead of
A full hour.
fireworks show. All right, the keys are yours, guys.
Go for it, CC.
All right. I hope you guys give me some good content then if I'm going for an hour of producer payback. But,
Yeah.
here, this is the fun one. Usually we like to make fun of Jimmy B, but this time, guys, Jimmy B got a little roast in as he had fun making fun of Manuch and his contact with the big boys.
I thought you were a quarterback whisperer. What the hell do you know about
really? Oh, brother, trust me. I faced the fearsome foursome. Are you kidding me?
He's used to having fat guys lay on him.
And then
He wore a clipboard and a ball cap.
I'm going to need HR for that one.
Man.
Fat guys laying on
Fat
you.
guys laying on
He got
me.
sacked a lot. That's what he was implying.
No, I guess you got. Remember, I run out of bounds, Rock, so I wouldn't get sacked. I'd throw it away.
But the
or
fat
run out
guys
of-
wouldn't be able to catch you. You should be
They
able to run
can't.
around them. So why would that? No, he meant fat guys sacking you.
He never watched me
Manuch,
play.
if you were running out of bounds all the time as a former NFL quarterback and collegiate, it's not because of fat guys.
Fat guys never got a hold of me ever.
Because you ran out of bounds.
So I got
It's
the hell
always
out
the
of
lineman's fault, isn't it, Manuch?
Yeah, exactly. CC, you're an offensive lineman. That's
And
they
CC
do all the work. And I bet you his alligator arms. Did you ever get your lineman anything?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, I'll give you
Peanut butter jelly
exactly.
sandwich.
We'll call Reggie McKenzie on this one because during the year we won 11-5 on the
Hey,
AFC.
guys, I apologize.
Nope.
Anybody listening, just
Nope.
turn the channel and come back in about
No.
3 minutes.
So every game we
The worst
won,
stories.
Genesee Cream Ale would give us a case. Everybody on the team a case for every win. So what I did is I say
Wait. So in the NFL or is this
in Buffalo,
Okay.
when we won the AFC East, we won 11-5. We went to the
We had
playoffs.
11 cases.
We got 11 cases. I saved those 11 cases for the linemen. So when it came around Christmas time, I brought 9 linemen. I divvied it up. I put 2 cases in one. The starters got 2. And so I had 2 left over. I gave them away. They said loved it. Genesee Cream Ale, a case of beer.
Yeah, you big spender. They cost
Well-
$10 a case back then, so $110.
Well, you're only making $40,000 a year. Uncle Sam takes
Still.
half. But
Wow.
so yes, I did take care of my linemen, even though it was a backup.
No
All
Louis
right.
Vuitton bags, nothing like that.
No.
Those scooters, maybe a moped back then.
The mopeds cost more than my salary those
Yeah.
years.
Remember, I had a Gorelli moped. I know my good buddy Kevin McCabe always makes fun of me. He's like, dude, whenever you go on the radio and you're talking about you had a moped as a kid, don't do that. I guess out here it's not cool to have a moped. Whereas scooters are cool and all that. But this was like 7-8 years ago.
I commend you.
And I was like, I had a moped. My moped was great. It went about 28 miles an hour. I
Yeah.
took the bath out, so it was a little louder. I did my paper route on it.
That was
awesome.
smart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so
All right.
Jimmy got a dig on me. So what? All right, go
All
ahead.
right, guys. Up next, Jimmy B and Manuch take turns butchering Bam Adebayo's name, and somehow it actually got worse and worse after each attempt.
After Miami Heat's Bam Adebayo,
Adebayo.
that's what I said.
You said
Scored
Adebayo.
Adebayo scored 83 points last night. Did you hear me, Manuch?
Adebayo.
80. No, Adebayo.
Yeah, attaboy.
No, you're saying Adebayo. No,
Adebayo.
Adebayo. It's
83 points last night.
AD, not AB.
83 points last
Maybe.
night.
You guys said Bam
83.
Adebayo's name about 15 times, and I think each one was
He
wrong.
kept it Adebayo. It's Adebayo.
There you go.
Yeah, Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, and he kept saying Ab. I said, Jimmy, no, there's a D there, not a B. Oh, okay. Adebayo.
right. That one
Next.
was hilarious. That one. I'm not sure if you guys remember the old SNL skit where they used to go, "Who's on first? Oh, he's on first. Who's on second?" Yeah, that's what it sounded like there. All right, Brock. This is a rare one because it's not often we get you, but this is one from a couple weeks ago. We were doing a little NFL draft talk and talking about some of the college prospects. Well, we were talking about the quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers, and you butchered the last name and you fumbled the team mascot.
Joey Aguilar, the current quarterback for the Tennessee Wolverines.
So we had
I can't hear it.
Aguilar. I'll
Yeah,
play it
play
one
that
more
one
time.
again.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. You got to turn it up.
Joey Aguilar, the current quarterback for the Tennessee Wolverines. Football. Dude, any Spanish name, I can't pronounce.
Joey Aguilar
I can barely say yes.
for the Tennessee Wolverines.
I don't know why. You know, my parents are listening right now. I'm sure 'cause they're in town, and I just blame my mom and dad. For, you know, my mom was a Title I reading teacher.
You had a private tutor.
And I cannot
You
read.
got a private
Cannot
tutor.
pronunciate.
Did
I
you guys
struggle. That's why I get asked to do these, like, you know, hey, will you MC these events? You love it.
I love it.
I never want to do it because I don't want to get caught having to pronunciate and pronounce somebody else's name. Oh, up to the stages. And if it's an Hispanic name, I can't say it.
Was it Tennessee Wolverines?
Yeah.
The other one too. Yeah.
What did I say?
The Tennessee Wolverines.
Joey Aguilar,
Yeah.
current quarterback for
Yeah, you know,
Tennessee.
and everyone knows-
Michigan's always on my mind.
Yeah.
Hold on. Say, go do it one more time, Connor. That
Joey
last
Aguilar, the current quarterback for the Tennessee Wolverines. Wolverine, what a dumbass! I'm glad you guys got me. It's been a good 3 months at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
We're gonna start keeping an eye out.
We got to get those. We don't see. We
We
don't
gotta
have
get
the.
more.
We don't have those hockey names for you to
Oh, dude.
articulate.
Yeah, I've told this story. It's been a long time, but I interned for the Philadelphia Flyers, and I thought I was going to go down that route, get into hockey, and the only reason I didn't go down that route as a PR guy, I couldn't say anyone's name. Yeah.
All the Russians.
Well, and I'm half Ukrainian. You know, you would think that, you know,
When they got
I could speak some of that stuff.
when the Yotes got Javi Bulin,
Oh.
the way you looked at it, he went, "How do you get Javi Bulin? You have to do it articulate, do it phonetically."
Nikolai Hobby Bulin.
I mean, how do you get that? There's like 25 letters in his name,
So hard.
and you got Javi Bulin.
No vowels.
You could barely put it on the back of the sweater.
Yeah. All right, one more, guys. Finally, out of deep left field, Coach Adris jumped in to call out Jimmy B for not knowing his bingo numbers. This was just last week.
Great.
Coach was not letting that one slide.
I guess it depends on how well he shares the rest of that pot with everybody else on the team, Jimmy B. So I haven't heard anything about that. And by the way, Jimmy B, you're old enough to be a bingo player. 010 does not exist, okay? That's in the B category, Jimmy.
Dude,
B.
great catch.
That last segment, I dropped you a notch because I can't believe Jimmy B that knows everything doesn't know that there's
He
no
thinks he
010
does.
in bingo.
Yeah, I think he does.
The thing that pisses me off, Mike's probably listening right now. Coach is listening. He likes to listen before it comes on. And he called out Jimmy B knows everything. That sucks. Because if Jimmy was here right now, it'd make his head so big. It's just, and we were talking about bingo. And you know Jimmy B does the bingo. Here's the thing that I found out last week with Jimmy B, also that he is a singer.
Yeah, I've known that.
He's out in some lake singing
he had
on
a
Friday
band.
nights.
Yeah, well,
He was in a band.
Well, God forbid he'll never do karaoke. That's beneath him. He will.
I guess singers.
Sing.
I guess singers don't do that.
Oh my gosh! But you know what? It's interesting. A lot of these singers that are out and about, do you do karaoke? Yeah, we'll pop up there and we'll do some karaoke.
I would think it would be like just kind of keeps it going.
Sure it does.
Keeps the
When's he gonna sing for us? Oh, but hey, Jimmy B doesn't play golf with old guys, and he doesn't do karaoke. God forbid.
So the old guy did, but then yesterday he said, "Hey, I think your dad will play." My dad's 82. I'm like, "You think I'll play with my dad?" I'm like, "I don't know. You're a lot older than my dad." Still got
the contradiction.
All right. All right. 4 Sweet 16 games left. Duke, Michigan, UConn, and Iowa State all in action. Coach Adris breaks it all down. The winners, the losers, and what it all means for the Elite Eight. That's next. But here's Connor with our last ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update of the day.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy Beats, ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Connor Collins. More news coming out from this morning. Tiger Woods' car crash in Jupiter, Florida. As the county sheriff has released that Tiger Woods blew a 0.00 on the breathalyzer, however, denied to take the urine test, and that's his reasoning for booking. He is going to be booked for 8 hours before being released on bond. The Arizona Wildcats head to the Elite Eight after a dominant 109-88 win over Arkansas, shooting nearly 64% from the field with star freshman Koa Pete and Braden Berries leading the way, 21 for Pete, 23 for Berries. And then tonight, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the LA Dodgers in Game 2 of the opening game series, as first pitch is set for 7:10 p.m. This ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update is sponsored by Biggs in Peoria. The tournament is on, and there's no better place to watch it. Wall-to-wall games, ice-cold beers, and the best game day atmosphere in Peoria.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Biggs American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Biggs is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Biggs American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. All non-health questions required.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are back, live from Biggs American Bar and Grill, a proud partner of ESPN 620 Phoenix, serving up big portions, cold drinks, and nonstop sports.
And Illinois is going to go to the Elite Eight for the second time in a couple of years. The Iowa Hawkeyes are going to the Elite Eight. Coming from behind to win. A tip to the left side. No good. Purdue advances. The Boilermakers survive. Trey Kaufman-Wren wins it. It's in the books. Minnesota Wildcats 15-0
right, let's start with Illinois. They've dominated on defense. Houston shot just 34%. Did not attempt a free throw until 3:27 mark in the second half. They didn't even have any fast break points, so they go on to win. They take care of Houston. You heard Iowa's win late over Nebraska, the close one, the thriller with Purdue over Texas, and, of course, Arizona routing Arkansas. Joining us now is our March Madness insider and former Northern Arizona Lumberjack head coach Mike Adris. He joins us down the right to the guest line here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. How we doing, Coach?
Hello, guys. Doing great. I think I'm doing a lot better than Tiger is today. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've been all over that today. It's unfortunate. We'll have to see and wait what happens with this, but fourth accident in a lot of years, but still a problem. All right,
and
so,
you're right. I was listening to the previous segment, so I did catch the Jimmy B blast off. I can't do worse than Jimmy B today. That's the way I look at it.
Good. All right. Thank you. We like that. All right. Other 4 games yesterday. Which one did you like the most?
I liked Arizona cruising to victory. They looked solid. They played well. They dominated the game. The pro for Arkansas, Acuff, did what he could, but the game plan on him was tremendous. With Bradley on him, and then when they would try to set a pick, they did a great job. It didn't matter who it was, switched on him, picked him up. They just made his life so difficult and frustrating, and he didn't shoot well from the perimeter, and you got to give the Cats a lot of credit because they just pounded them inside. They didn't rely on three-point shooting. That team executed their coach's game plan as well as they could have last night, and they made it look easy, which was fun to watch.
Coach, interesting you brought that up because even the announcers talked about not relying on three-point shooting, how good they are without the free ball. To your point, 63% three-point shooting, but 64% from the field. They dang near shot 70% the first half alone.
Yeah, that's just incredible. And when you start doing that, it just becomes contagious, and they just took great shots. I mean, they shared the ball. I told you guys the preview before that. I wasn't excited about how few assists they had in their last game. Last night, 19 assists. They did whatever they wanted, and it was the frustration on Calipari's face was evident because it didn't matter what they attempted to do. Arizona was in control.
Coach, when you see 2 games in a row where Arizona has 6 individuals in double figures, what's that tell you?
Balanced scoring, share the basketball. When it's your turn, go get it done, and that's how they played. It was. I enjoyed it. I'm sure you guys did as well, and a lot of your listeners feel pretty good going into tomorrow evening's game, because especially after watching how poorly Purdue played last night. You feel good about the Cats' chances for getting to the Final Four.
All right, Duke St. John's tonight. Does tournament experience and momentum matter against a 1 seed, or does it just come down to the talent that always wins out?
A lot of times it's the talent, especially after that first weekend. You would hope that, your guys now are comfortable, they're focused, they know what's at hand. You're playing a 2-game tournament this weekend. Hopefully you understand you don't get a second game unless you take care of the first one. And is Duke getting back one of their players for this game tonight, I think? So that's going to, I think, really increase their chances now of doing well.
How effective is Rock? How effective would he be? Is it Caleb? Is it Jones? Is it the kid that may be coming back?
I thought it was the big kid, right? But maybe I'm wrong on that. It's not the guard. I don't think he's due to come back anytime soon. But I just think when you're used to guys producing, and now it takes a little pressure off of Cameron Boozer to have to do make play after play after play. When you have somebody else that can take pressure off your star and lighten the load a little bit, it just makes your star even that more effective.
All right, Coach. We talked about, when it comes to talent. How about when it comes to coaches? Tom Izzo versus Dan Hurley, two of the best coaches in the country. How much does that matter in a game that is spread's been 1.5, 2.5 UConn and Michigan State?
I think you're looking at two outstanding coaches. Obviously, Izzo a lot more experienced and has been around a lot, but Hurley with 2 championships. Both staff do a great job. I'm going to look forward to that game because I think both teams run very good offensive sets, and I kind of like to see, coaches that are designing plays for players that they think have an advantage against their opponent and whatnot. So both run good stuff. Both are just well coached and fundamentally sound. I think that's just going to be a war of a game, and can guys, get off and do the things, is Jeremy Fears going to be able to, dictate on the Huskies, or are the Huskies going to turn around and is Caravan going to continue to shoot just unbelievably well? And if Caravan is hitting shots, UConn is definitely hard to beat.
Coach, just real quick update. Caleb Foster is set to play tonight for Duke. So my question for you is how effective, when you talk about, I call Boozer Jr. at the point guard, do you think that a kid B that's been out for almost 2 weeks now?
Well, you know what? That's a tough one. But, he's played most of the season. You're looking at a guy that puts up, close to 10 points a game. Again, if he does just get to his averages, not exceed those, right? But just get to where he needs to get to. It just takes pressure off of other players to have to pick up the slack for him. And I think they'll rotate. He's not going to play his usual minutes and stuff like that out there, I don't think. Will he get 28 to 30 minutes tonight? I doubt it. But if he can give him 20 minutes, that's just a huge bonus because it's a ball handler. It's a guy that can do some things, out there on the court.
Coach, one of the early afternoon games, 4:35, Bama and Michigan. So the big horse down low for Michigan versus Bama's run and shoot. Which way are you leaning on this one?
I like those big boys, okay, but it'll be interesting to see because you are exactly right. Alabama's, you got to get off to a good start and hit those threes to bring those big guys away from the basket, so to speak. Iowa did that last week, and it was very effective against Florida, right? So Alabama's probably thinking, if we can pull those guys away from the basket, maybe there's second chance opportunities for us. And of course, long shots always equal longer rebounds. And so can you, get second chance opportunities if you're not hitting those 3-point shots? Like Houston couldn't hit a thing last night. That was just so painful to watch and everything in that game. Alabama shoots much better than them, obviously. But Houston just, sorry to go back to that one. That one frustrated me more than anything last night because I just thought they played so out of character, and I thought that they would be so comfortable playing at home. But that's the beauty of these games now, right? These are good teams. I said the other day that cream rises to the top, and we have really good teams playing in this round and throughout this weekend coming up.
Coach, just move ahead real quick. I'd love to hear your thoughts after what you saw yesterday with Purdue, and now they will face Arizona tomorrow. How do you see this one all going down? We had our Scott Spreitzer, who is our handicapper for the last 15-plus years. He thinks it's going to be a low-scoring game, and it'll be a lot closer than people may think. But how do you see this one?
That's interesting, that perspective. I think Purdue will try to control tempo, and, certainly Smith has the ability to do that as, you know, the premier point guard in NCAA history now in terms of assists. And if Lawyer shoots well, I think that's important. But, you know, Kaufman has to play well. Now, you know, he had the big tip in and had a great game last night, but I don't think he's played. He's kind of been up and down in this tournament to me. And so if Arizona's big guys can negate Kaufman, I think that really is going to give them a huge favor, you know, a better chance of winning this ball game. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Purdue wants to score as well. I don't think you just all of a sudden change your style of play just because you watch your next opponent score. How many did they have last night? 106, something like that. It was 108. 108. Quite an impressive offensive display by the Cats. So, yeah, okay, so lower scoring, well, maybe the Cats only make it to 80 tomorrow, but I still think that's enough points for them to win. I truly believe Arizona's the better team and should win the game.
Coach, I think I texted you last night the reason why fundamentals is so important.
Yeah.
Talked about Kaufman getting that tip in. How about somebody block him out, number one? And then it's kind of important for coaches, I would think, that they understand how many guys they have on the court or not. By Hoiberg not having 5 guys on the court coming out of that timeout, I was appalled that they allowed that to happen. And don't you have assistant coaches that check and do a check, double check, make sure you have 5 guys on the court when you come back from a timeout?
I was surprised that Fred blamed the officials after the game about that because he should have been blaming his assistant coaches. There's no question about that. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but, man, there's 6 assistants in the front row and another 7 in the back row. College staff look like NBA staff now, you know, and the NBA is going to get jealous, and they're going to create a 3rd row of seats. I don't know what that row's going to do, but you know, they're going to do something there. You would think one of 13 guys would say, we're missing somebody out here right now and whatnot. But what a bad time for that to happen. And, you know, they'll be made fun of for quite some time, unfortunately. And it's too bad because I'm a big Fred Hoiberg fan, and it doesn't look well when you only go out there with 4 guys. And I think I heard you say earlier, you know, is that a Chris Webber moment? And it kind of is, don't you think? I mean, it's
absolutely.
It's crazy. And going back to the tip-in, I thought Kaufman kind of shoved the guy underneath, but that's just Big Ten basketball. Okay, that ball goes up. You do whatever you have to do. You know, it's like water polo. You don't see all the kicking down below. But, you know, the guys are scoring up above the water, and I think he just played big boy basketball on that last play and didn't want to play any extra minutes, was ready to finish it right there.
Hey, Coach, I'm surprised they didn't review that one, too, after the 35 reviews they had during that game. What an ugly officiated game that was.
I agree, and it really kind of threw off the late night because they stagnate the games a little bit so everybody can watch the last 7 minutes of each game at least, you know, and for them that first game was so bad that the 2 evening games practically started at the same time because of the 30-minute in between ball game stuff that the NCAA imposes and stuff. But that was tough. That was painful. I know you were hating it because you sent me that message. I got it.
Coach, thank you, buddy. Have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you on Monday.
Sounds good. Thanks, fellas. Have a good one.
You too. Mike Gage is joining us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Coming up, of course, you've heard by now, Tiger Woods DUI today and got in an accident. And our great producer was really trying to bring in earlier and just had a little mishap. And we're going to bring that back to our learner row. 1 call. That's all. That's it.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views. Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Here's what's different about GCU. It's one of the country's biggest universities with over 360 programs shaped by industry leaders. GCU's campus ranks among the top in the nation. Most of all, GCU cares about affordability. The average federal and private loan debt for GCU undergrads is lower than the average for private nonprofit four-year universities. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you like. Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WhiteToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
All right, when we broke the news, like everybody else, stopped the show around 1 o'clock, that Tiger Woods was in an accident, a rollover. We didn't at that point know that he had failed the DUI test. None of that information had been out yet anywhere. But all we could speculate at that point was he rolled over his car, his truck, his SUV. And if you recall, the last time he rolled over his vehicle, it was a Genesis. That's the brand of the SUV that he had. But, Laz, who wants to be a know-it-all, he's 24, 25, 26, these young kids that if you're a parent, if you're in your early 20s, mid-20s, you know everything. I mean, they just ask them. They know everything. And they always go to the negative right away. It's not if Tiger's okay, is he fine? It's like, he's on drugs, he's on pills, he's on all this.
Is that wrong?
No, that's not the point. It's just the principle that, we always go to the clickbait first. We always want to get the negative out first. And, of course, that's where we went down that road. So, but he Laz claims that Tiger Woods crashed his Genesis, but then we found out it was a Range Rover.
Land Rover.
A Land Rover? Not a Range Rover? It was a Range Rover. Then we found out that wasn't the case. So here's Laz basically telling us what we already do.
Do we
Cars
know
like
if it's
him.
his car that rolled over
Yeah.
or was it the other car?
No, it's his Genesis.
So was it hit?
Laying on its
Was he
side.
driving? You saw the picture?
assume
You
he
saw
was
the picture?
driving.
You saw the picture of the Genesis?
Uh-huh.
You did see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes and he pulls out the picture of him rolled over, and he assumed that was a Genesis. But even now, again, called it a Land Rover, but it was clearly a Range Rover in every report. You saw the picture, right?
Yeah, I did.
So it was the
It
Genesis,
was a blacked out car.
and then it was a Land Rover. Next thing is
Is
a
it a
Kia.
Range Rover?
It is a Range Rover. You're sure it's not a Saturn? Trust me, I buy a new car every year. I know a little bit about cars. But yes. So you're not dyslexic, are you? I mean, you look at it.
The cars, maybe.
You're on Yeah. the spectrum. Yeah. Okay. So you're looking at. You said it. Look. You said you saw the Genesis. What were you reading?
No,
he just going off of,
yeah.
because
Tiger and
he
Genesis
also
go
said,
together.
Les also said that, oh yeah, Tiger gets in an accident every year.
Pretty much.
Yeah, see?
Every other year.
You're right.
No,
Every
biannual.
other year.
It
must be the Gen Z. You're right, right. It was like, well, he was probably on drugs versus, is everybody okay? Did they get out of the car?
Well, once I knew he was okay.
Yeah.
Then I started the speculation.
That was your go-to. It's like, man, that guy, man, he had 3 home runs last night. Yeah, but he struck out twice. Give him some credit. You didn't give. I know your folks. They're great people. They're always encouraging. You think it came from them? I'm not going to say it came from there. So, just for the record, this crash is the 4th time Woods has been involved in a vehicle crash, and it goes all the way back to 2009. So not every other year. So if you do the math, so what's the Tucson math?
What do we got?
So
17 years
it's
there
20,
divided by
okay.
4?
Yes. So that's what's 4 divided by
4 and some change.
Yeah.
So about every 5 years he's
okay.
been one.
Not every other year. We could probably go with him backing out of the driveway, and then him getting. All right. Our State 48 Roofing gets your call question of the day, which we'll have the results here from CC in a moment. What's the best use of Tom Brady in 2026? Playing in the NFL, still playing in the NFL, calling games on Fox, running the Raiders, or flag football evangelist. Those are your 4 choices. What did the audience go with there, CC?
It looks like at the moment, it's a 50-50 split. 50% say calling games for Fox, and 50% said running the Las Vegas Raiders. I really thought we would see more for flag football at this point.
I did too.
That was my vote.
He's trying to make himself so relevant. He wants to change the rules. He wants to go to 7-on-7. Yes. It just sometimes you just tell guys, just stay in your lane. Yeah, just stay in your lane. I put calling games on Fox. I think eventually he'd like to be running the Raiders. I think he wants to just kind of ease his way into being a minority owner, and eventually because it seems like he's getting more and more involved. And you look at the general manager, you look at Mark Davis, the owner. It seems like he's more involved, but to be the president of the Raiders, I think that's a few years down the road. All right, here's what's on tap, which is brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light, the official partner of Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B in our March Mania coverage. As tonight, D-backs 7:10 on Arizona Sports, 98.7, of course, on Cox Channel 34. You got NCAA tournament getting on at 4:10. Tomorrow on TBS, the Arizona game will tip off at 5:49 as they play Purdue. 6:10 will be D-backs Dodgers on Arizona Sports 98.7. We will have the Suns and Jazz at 7 o'clock here on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD-2. It'll also be on Arizona Family. So that is the schedule for the weekend here on Arizona Sports and ESPN Radio Week. So good stuff there. Monday we will be out in the studio, right? Yes, studio Monday. Yes. So who do we have on tap for Monday? We got kind of our usuals. Get Coach Adrian. Yeah, figure that. Yeah, get Coach Adrian. Some things just never change. Yeah, you know what? It's that time of year. Rob. No, it's that time of year. You try to change it up. Yeah. That time of year, we have the same guests on Monday that we have. Right, man. 12 months out of the year. And you know what? I don't understand. I taught you like many years ago. I love appointment radio. Yeah. But at the point where you got to kind of, elevate is the word in 2026. Well, really, elevate the show with some variety. You're going to get a lot of variety next week. So when Laz takes over as producer for CC's moving on to bigger, better things. Next week. So, CC, are you going to step up and maybe have got the Rolodex producer? Got the Rolodex. Gonna step up. I mean, like what? Is this something? What? Is that
We're gonna
job
get some
description?
guests.
He's just going to hit buttons.
We're gonna get Paris Johnson. We're gonna get some guys on the show.
You've been talking about Keaton Slovis forever. Don't be
And
afraid
you've
to
been
give him
talking about
tickets.
Paris
I
Johnson,
can
too.
get Keaton anytime. Just let me know.
And Paris, I mean, you keep talking about Paris. Where's Paris Johnson?
Where's that baseball section we've been talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey, I let us through some picks the other day. That was my idea.
They need to do a University of Arizona deal.
Yeah.
Season's almost over.
Well, once we win the
They-
Natty, I'll
Then,
do.
then what are you going to do when Tommy Lee goes to North Carolina?
Oh, it's gonna be bad. I'll be sick.
No, you won't, dude. You'll
He's
just,
not leaving.
you know,
It's like the Jordan Belfort. I'm not leaving.
not leaving.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Hey, Biggs and Peoria out here in the West Valley. It's already packed for happy hour. Get going for tonight's game. For CC, for Lads, for doing B all week. He made it 4 days. And for Manuch and Brock, have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.